Well, hello, everyone. Wow. Can't remember the last time I've been on this platform. I was trying
Good
to
morning
figure
and
out.
welcome.
Thank you. I was trying to figure out how to get back on. But anyways, yeah, certainly great to be here with everyone. Thank you so much for having me. Today's a wonderful day, and I hope everyone is having a great day. Um, we all should be, you know. I think all of us should understand that our business on passive is the game changer, right? And if you don't know that by now, then you're in trouble, right? So hopefully, by the end of today's webinar, you'll be able to, at least walk away with that. If there's nothing else you get from today, it is hopefully, you can finally see, because you should have seen it by now, but hopefully you'll finally see, be able to understand that on passive is the game changer. Okay. And so years ago, when I decided to, create Automatic Internet Millionaire, um, it was based upon trying to find a game changer, right? And what do I mean by that? You know, there are a lot of great businesses out there. There's no doubt about that. There's a lot of great companies with great products. There's, you know, no one can refute that, right? Like it is what it is. Those companies exist. Those products exist. People are using products, that are giving them what they're looking for, right? Whether it be health products, whether it's digital products for marketing, and the list goes on and on. But the problem, though, right, and we've stated this so many times over the years. The problem is that it doesn't matter how good the product is, doesn't matter how great the company is, doesn't matter how fantastic the compensation plan is, right? There's still that missing element that no company ever provides. And you have to stop and think, why don't they provide it, right? And that missing element is the marketing aspect, right? To be able to market, to be able to, have traffic. That's the parts that's always missing. Like pick any company. Okay? If you joined that company and you were a marketer, you actually made money. Like there's no doubt about that. You make, it's not rocket science, folks. Right? But the problem is the majority of people, and when I say majority, I don't mean 51%. Right? When I say the majority of people, we're talking like 90%, 95% of people just don't know how to market. No matter how you break it down, no matter how you make it simple, no matter how you say, listen, all you have to do is just give this CD, give this DVD. Back when we had VHS, just give this person this VHS. Today you send a person a link, right? Just give them your link. Just let them watch this video, and so on and so forth, right? No matter how you break it down for people, and you give them, you say, well, this is working for me, so it's going to work for you. Here you go. And they try to do that, and guess what? It doesn't work for them, right? And they're looking at you like you're crazy. Like, I thought you said this was working for you. Yes, it is, right? Proof is that you joined, didn't you? So whatever I'm doing clearly is working because you joined the business, right? Based upon my recommendation, right? And yet, when that person in turn now tries to do exactly what you did, or find some other way, some other method, it just doesn't work for them, right? And if by chance it works for them, then the next person they try to introduce it to, it just doesn't work for that person, right? So, that isn't a game changer. You understand? So, we decided that the only way for this to really work for people is that we have to do it for them. It's the only way. The only way to make any business where you have to make sales, right, is that you have to do the selling for people, right? It's just the only way, folks, right? To have lasting results. I'm not saying that you can't have temporary results. Of course you can. People make a little money here, a little money there, but we're talking about lasting results. We're talking about making income that you can depend upon month after month, year after year. That's what we're talking about, right? And again, go to any of those companies, even companies that have been around for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Go to those companies and take a look, right, at their affiliates. Take a look at their marketers. Take a look at their sales reps. Just take a look at everyone, and you'll find that that has changed over the years, right? You may remember, oh yeah, I remember John was doing this business, 20 years ago. You talk to John today, John probably went through 5 different businesses, if not more, right? Since that time. Why? Right? Is it because the company wasn't any good? Chances are that's not the case if it was a reputable company to begin with, right? Is it because the products, stopped working? Chances, no, that's not the case, right? The problem is that John did not have a game changer, right? And so that's what we've been looking for, and that's what we decided to start marketing for people. But over the years, things have changed. Companies that we've used have changed. You know, marketing methods have changed, right? And so much has gone on, right, over the years. So when we came upon ONPASSIVE, and ONPASSIVE said, all you had to do was get in. That's a game changer, folks. It really is, right? Think about right now, if you had a business right now and you went to someone, anyone, and you told that person all they have to do in order to win, all they have to do in order to make money, all they have to do in order to accomplish all their dreams in life, just get in. Nothing, just get in. You don't believe that you would have success with that? Of course you would. Right? If I went out there in my neighborhood right now, right, and people out there, they seem like they're doing okay for themselves. And if I went out there and just made an announcement, says, listen, I have a legal way to print money. Okay? A legal way to print money. Any money you want. I have a legal way to do that. Where no authority's going to bother you. You know what I mean? You can depend upon it. Right? Just come to my door. Come see me. My entire neighborhood will line up around the block to come and see what this guy's talking about. Right? Because, folks, the reality is, it doesn't matter what financial position people find themselves in today. People are in need. Right? There are people that are making $250,000 a year, and they're in need. Right? There are people making $500,000 a year, and they are in need. Right? It's not about the amount that you make. That isn't it. Right? The bottom line is that anywhere you turn, in your little community, in your city, in your province, in your state, in your country, people are in need, right? And that's why you have so many companies out there, and so many people are joining A, B, C, D, and E, all the way to Z and back again, right? Because people are looking for something. They're looking for something that is going to help them, right? What they have just isn't enough, folks, right? Because if what people had was enough, you wouldn't have all these companies out there. They wouldn't exist. They wouldn't, right? They're there because people are looking for opportunities. People realize that that job that I have just isn't enough. There are people who've gone to school, got their degree, great job, and they've worked for 40 years at their job, made good money. Now they're retired and they're struggling. The company pension, they're still struggling. They may have a little bit of investments, they're still struggling. The majority of people, by the time they reach, retirement age, they don't even have $30,000 sitting in their bank account. And if you think I'm lying, check yourself right now. Okay? In case you can't remember what's in your bank account, right? Go log in right now as I'm talking to you, right? And check it and see what your balance is. See if you have $30,000 in cash right now just sitting there in the bank. Okay? Check whatever retirement plans that you may have, whatever investments you may have. Check and see if you will have $30,000 by the time you retire. Folks, all of us need a game changer. And that's why we made the decision to get involved in ONPASSIVE. We have to remember that. Sometimes we need to remind ourselves, why did I join this business? Why am I here? Why am I still here? You know what I mean? Sometimes you have to remind yourself because you made the right decision in the beginning. And then somewhere along the line, you start to doubt yourself. Why? What has changed? Okay. ONPASSIVE is the game changer because ONPASSIVE is a business whereby all you have to do is get in, work will be done, right? It's all automated, folks. That's the difference. Can you imagine the job that you have right now? You were able to replace yourself with AI, let's say, and AI is doing the work for you so you can be off enjoying life while AI is doing all the work for you. Can you imagine what your life would be like? Think about that. It's your ONPASSIVE business. Because it is possible, folks. It is possible to be able to set up a process whereby sales are automatically done. Think about it. Let's say it's a website that you have, okay, and your website is a sales page, okay, meaning that the verbiage that's on there, okay, the wording that's on there, okay, is there to entice, to encourage, to motivate, to inspire people to purchase whatever products and services that you're offering. Right? Okay, how do you make the money? You need to drive traffic. You need real eyeballs to be looking at that page. So can you imagine you have an unlimited source of these eyeballs that will take a look at your page every single day, 7 days a week, every single month, 365 days a year, year after year after. Can you imagine how many sales you would make? Think about that. Think about, again, maybe you have a product that you're selling right now, right? Maybe you have a product that you're selling right now. Can you imagine you had a lineup of people come? Doesn't mean that everyone's going to buy. Okay, doesn't mean that. Okay, because in most cases, 99.9% of the cases, not everyone buys from a store. Right? Okay, people walk into the store, they look around, and they walk back out. Okay, that's reality. Okay, others will come in and they'll buy. Right? I went to the store the other day with my daughter, and she has her list on her phone for stuff that she needs for herself. And as we're going through the aisle, she sees something else, she picks it up. Oh, not on my list, but I'll get it anyways. Right? You have shoppers like that. Right? They go into the store, they have 10 items that they're going to buy, and they come up with 15 items. You understand? Then you have other shoppers that go in, they 10 items, and they come out with 10 items. And then you have some going 10 items, and they come out with 8 items. You understand? Not everybody's coming in and they're buying. Some people walk in and they'll come out with 0 items. Right? The reality is, if you have an unlimited and endless source of real people that will take a look at your offer, whether it's a product you're selling, whether it's a service you're selling, okay, whatever your offer is, if it's unlimited, folks, you're going to make money. Bottom line. Whether it takes a month, whether it takes a few months, whether it takes a year, etc. Okay, the time isn't the issue. Okay, you have to have that source. You have to have that process that's able to do all of that for you. Okay, most companies provide you with a replicated page. Okay, and that page will tell about the company, will tell about the product, will tell about the compensation. Okay? But then where's the traffic? You're like, okay, I'm a nurse. I don't know anything about traffic. I don't know anything about marketing. I didn't know anything about selling. But yet you joined that business though, right? Because your friend or family or whomever made it seem like, well, it's so easy. Okay? You run into issues. You're an engineer. So yeah, I understand thermodynamics and all this other fancy stuff, right? But you don't know nothing about selling. You don't know anything about marketing. You don't understand consumer behavior, right? You don't understand how search engines work, and the list goes on and on and on, right? But you're in a business and you're supposed to sell and you can't sell. So if you can solve that problem, folks, if you can solve it, now you become a game changer, right? That's what OnPassive has done when you think about it. Right? If we get to the crux of the whole matter, right? What OnPassive has done is to solve that, is to be able to provide people with unlimited resource of traffic, okay? Of traffic. It is so important because when you see that, now you can understand that, oh, this is how Catmo works, right? It is so important. And not just any traffic, right? But to have targeted traffic, right, folks? Once you have that, you have a game changer. People should be so excited about what they have in OnPassive. So excited. Yeah. So it blows my mind when I get messages from time to time and, people, wondering and if and on and and all like, really? Then that means you don't understand what you have in your hands, right? You don't understand what you have in your hands. What is taking so long though? Okay. What have you done lately? What have you done lately? Have you ever built an automated process to make sales for any company? Have you ever done that? Do you understand that things do change? Marketing strategies do change. What used to work 20 years ago may not work today. What was working 2 years ago may not work today. Do you understand the future of marketing? Do you understand how artificial intelligence play a role in all of this? Because that's the era that we're in right now. We do know, and we've seen and we've experienced it, folks, that things do change in life. Yeah? How did you used to listen to your music? There was a time when there was something called an 8-track tape, right? Yes, I'm old enough to remember that. Okay? Right? Then you got cassette tapes. Then you had CDs. You understand, folks? Things change. Mm-hmm. Now, how do you listen to your music? Right? Where are those record stores? Where are they today? Mm-hmm. People used to go to a record store and they're buying their records. Where are they today? You understand, folks? Things change. Marketing is no different. It doesn't mean that everyone just stopped doing the old way of doing things. Where it doesn't mean that. Don't we still have commercials on TV? Yeah. It's marketing. Okay, it's traffic. Right. So you're gonna see a car dealership, right, advertising, on a sporting event. Because guess what? They know people who watching sporting events buy cars. You understand? Right? So you still have commercials today. You still see billboards around. You drive along the highway, you still see billboards. They're still there. Okay? You still get flyers coming to your home. Right? Look how long flyers have been coming. Remember when, you had a boy or girl used to deliver paper to your house? Little kids want to get a paper route, etc. Right? These things, flyers still come. You understand, folks? So you have all those things. It's just that today, the world that we're living in, some things are more effective than others. That's all it is. with the internet now, right? Now things, to me, is that much easier to make sales because of the internet, if you know how to use it. Not everybody knows how to use it. You understand? But if you know how to use it, though, now you can be able to operate in a more efficient and a more effective way when it comes to marketing, when it comes to driving traffic. I can reach far more people, okay? Way more people using the internet than I can by dropping off flyers to people's homes. Because the internet allows me to be able to market to the globe. So if there's over 5 billion people that's on the internet, well, the internet allows me, if I know what I'm doing, to be able to market to all of them. So can you imagine you have a business and you're able to market to 5 billion people? Now, it doesn't mean that you will market to 5 billion because not all of them may be applicable to your particular offer. Right? There's no point in me sending an advertisement, right, or an ad to someone who's 90 years old, and I'm trying to, promote running shoes, let's say, right? You know what I mean? So I want to be able to take the mass, which is the 5 billion, right, and I want to break it down to whatever market, whatever niche that I'm promoting, right? Break it down so now it's more targeted. So there's a greater chance I'm spending my money more wisely because there's a greater chance of that person, because I've now selected, right, who it is that I want to market to, right? So therefore, there's a greater chance of me generating a sale, right? It's not rocket science, folks. But if you're not exposed to it, if you don't have the knowledge, if you don't have the skill, then, it's like someone speaking Chinese to you and you've never learned, Mandarin or another Chinese dialect. Wouldn't make any sense, right? You're in Cameroon and you speak French and you're trying to talk to somebody, who's speak English, don't understand a lick of French. It's not going to work. You need some sort of translator, right? So it's the same thing with marketing, folks. So you have people who are professionals, people who are good at it, people who have been doing this for years, right? And they can put together an ad that sells, that's effective, right? Years ago, we had hundreds of different sources that we used, to be able to drive traffic, right? Today, using artificial intelligence, well, that in itself is a game changer, right? So you have ONPASSIVE through their process being a game changer because they're giving you 100% of the process. They're not saying, hey, it's 90% done for you. It's 95. They're giving you 100% of the process. They're saying that, hey, we can make the products, okay? We can provide the platform, as in your ecosystem, to display these products, and we can provide, okay, the traffic so that now you have it completed, right? It's complete. It's complete, folks. That is the game changer. Show me a company that's providing that for you. Okay? And then the other part of the game changer is that you're using the latest, okay, not 20 years ago technology, but the latest technology to accomplish this. Right? Think about that. I remember, again, years ago, right, when I wanted to be, recruited for university, for scholarship, all that fancy stuff. And I would send out, VHS tapes to schools, right? Now think of that process. I have to, create these videos and duplicate them and all this stuff, and now I have to go physically mail it to the school and mail it to that school and mail it and then wait for them to receive it and then to watch it and then respond. But it's a long process, right? Today, I can simply just press a button An email is sent, they receive a link, and everything they need to know about me is available. And they can reply back to me instantly. I don't need to wait for days and weeks to go by to know whether this school is interested or not. Right? It's instant. I send a message right now. Within 5 minutes, I can see that they opened my message. So if I don't hear from them, that's telling me something, right? Because I already know, right? I can see that they opened my message, right? Instant. So things have changed. Things are different because of technology, folks. And that's what ONPASSIVE is doing, okay? And we get it. Yes, we get it. Some of you 4 years, 5 years, whatever, we get it. But folks, can you imagine ONPASSIVE opens its doors and within 1 year of that, all your dreams are able to be accomplished? Can you imagine? Are you going to be thinking about, man, well, it took 4 years for me to accomplish my dream. Well, it took 5 years, it took 3. Are you going to be thinking about that? Or are you going to be so happy about that? Wow, finally. You understand? It's all okay. Our dear sister, talk about it, right? Talk about the mindset. Right? It's all about how you perceive things. Right? It's how you choose to receive it. It's how you choose to react to information. Right? And it's all based upon the actions that you take in your life, because everything in life is a choice. Everything. Okay? Well, 99.9%. Okay? Right? There are a few things that's not a choice. Like you didn't choose your parents, for example. Right? So, there are some things that's not a choice. But for all intents and purposes, the majority of things, right? We can say everything in life is a choice. You can choose how you react to something. Right? Oh, somebody sent me this negative video. Okay, well, how do you react to it? Just click delete. Simple. It doesn't throw off my day. It doesn't make me have a bad day. I just click delete. Somebody sent me a nasty email. Delete. I don't have to even respond to it. Just click delete. You know what I mean? My boss is in a bad mood today, so he's taking it out on me. Okay, I hear it, but I don't hear it. You know what I mean? This goes in and it goes right up. I don't keep it. I don't hold on to it. I don't go around all day thinking, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. It's not necessary, right? Because then now that's going to throw off my day. And then your boss already took out their frustration and they're having a fantastic day after that. And you're holding on to it and you're the one that's stuck in the rut. You understand? Oh, again, it's all about how you choose to receive information. A lot of stuff come at me, a lot of stuff. Good, bad, ugly, a lot of stuff. But then I choose what to hold on to. Right? It's a choice. You know what I mean? I was talking to someone the other day and I was trying to give them, some advice and stuff. And everything I said, they just had an excuse for it. It didn't matter what I said to them. It was an excuse after excuse after excuse. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you're kidding me. Right? You're not looking for help. Like you know what I mean? You're quite happy. You're content with your present situation. You know what I mean? Because here's a solution, here's a solution, here's a solution, and everything else an excuse, an excuse, an excuse, an excuse, excuse. Right? Blows my mind. Right? And this is stuff that we do all the time, folks. Somebody wants to lose weight, as an example. They want to lose weight. Okay? Want to reduce what you're eating. Simple. Well, is it that? Yes, it is that simple. Right? It's that simple. Right? You don't have to even change what you're eating. Right? Just reduce it. The quantity. You love this food. Okay, fine. You love eating donuts. Okay, no problem. Instead of eating 2 donuts a day, why don't you eat 1 donut a day? You know what I mean? You don't have to have 3 meals a day. Who says you have to have 3 meals a day? You don't. The Surgeon General says that's nonsense. Okay? That's marketing. Okay? You have to have 2,500 calories. Nonsense. Okay, that's a generic statement. All of us don't need the same amount of calories each day. It's not true. We're not all the same size. We're not all the same age. We don't have the same activities. It's nonsense. Here's a simple formula. Just reduce your quantity. Simple. But someone's going to find an excuse as to why. Oh, but I can't reduce my. Why not? Right? Okay, I drink 3 coffees. Okay, drink 1 coffee a day. You understand, folks? My point is this. Everything in life is a choice. It's a choice. We can choose to be happy. We can choose to be sad. It's a choice. Even when things are bad, we can still choose to be happy. I've seen my grandmother for years, and I know every day can't be great, but she was always happy, right? At least that's the impression that we got. You know what I mean? We would never know when she was sad. Right? I don't think I've ever seen her sad, ever. Like, ever. Right? Maybe that's why she lived to be over 100 years old. Maybe. Right? Choice, folks, choice. So back to ONPASSIVE. Right? Why is it the game changer? Because all you have to do is get in. Right? Are you paying money month after month after month? Right? No. Are you building this website, this video, that product? Are you doing any of that? Finding which traffic works, which doesn't work? Because not all traffic works, folks. So you have to be able to navigate the space and sift, right? To find what makes sense, what works and what doesn't work. And a lot of that is through trial and error. Okay? You have to actually try it, see it. Nope, doesn't work. Okay. Put something else in. Do a whole bunch of split testing and all this fancy stuff. But the bottom line is that we don't have to do any of that, though. You understand? The companies say, yeah, don't worry, we'll figure it all out. We'll do everything. Yeah. When we're ready, here you go. We're giving you the finished product. Okay? It's like you want a nice house, right? Are you the one going to go out and go build it? Right? Are you the architect? Right? Are you going to draft up the plans and all these things? You know what I mean? Are you going to be doing any of that? No. But you know how many people, how many skilled laborers, how many professionals that it takes to build a house? It's not one person. Right? Even when someone says, oh yeah, I'm going to go build my house, it's not one person actually building it. Right? Unless that person is super talented, right? It usually is more than one person that you see on that construction site, right? And they all play their roles. And when it's all done, all you have to do is get the key, open the door, and you walk in, wow, this is beautiful, this is fantastic. Right? And you're all excited about your new home. That's your ONPASSIVE business. All you have to do is get the key, walk inside, okay, as in log in, right? You walk inside, boom, oh, this is fantastic. And just connect the dots, and then the process kickstarts itself. Right? It's a simple business, folks. And yet people are spinning their wheels. All of a sudden now people are marketers. You weren't a marketer 5 years ago, but now you are. You weren't a marketer 12 months ago, but now you are. Right? Hey, maybe things have changed for you. Right? Maybe you've upgraded yourself, and so now you have all this knowledge and you're able to go and make it happen. And if that's the case, fantastic. Right? The reality is, folks, we know that people are struggling. We know that. It's nothing to do with ONPASSIVE. That's just life. Right? That's just life. At least with ONPASSIVE, you have hope. And not false hope, like real hope. Something that you can hang your hat on. Something that you can count on, that you can depend on. Right? As sure as we see the sun, okay, we know that ONPASSIVE is sure. That's the one business that we can all count on, folks. I'm telling you. It's the one business that all of us, not some of us, all of us can count on. to one business. Okay? So just understand that ONPASSIVE is the game changer. Right? It's going to provide everything that you need to be able to have a full automated business running for you 24/7. And that's how you will be able to fulfill all of your dreams. Not some of them, but all of them. We've always talked about ONPASSIVE being able to help you, create a financial legacy, a family dynasty, all of this stuff, right? We've always talked about that, right? And guess what? It is still real today. Today is July 14th, 2024. It is still real. It's still alive. Okay? ONPASSIVE is not going to hurt you, folks. And not one person says, oh, because of ONPASSIVE, I'm in a financial rut. Not true. Okay? Not true. No one can say that. And I can tell you, I can name off tens of companies that I certainly know that have put people in a really, really bad spot. Unfortunately. It's not ONPASSIVE. Regardless of what people may think, regardless of what people may believe, okay, it doesn't make it true. The bottom line is that ONPASSIVE is here to stay. ONPASSIVE will give you what you're looking for, and it's going to help you and your family. Right? Think about this. You go to a job for how long? For 5 years and all your dreams have come true? For 10 years and all your dreams have come true? 15 years? 20 years? 25? 30 years and your dreams have come through after 30 years at your job? Right? And yet you've been in ONPASSIVE for a few years and you think, oh my gosh, this is the end of my life. Right? Woe is me. The world is over. Right? Think about that though. But yet you get up every single day, putting in 8 hours a day, 8 hours a day, 8 hours a day, 8 hours a day, in a job that you don't even like. It wouldn't be so bad if you actually like your job. I don't think I'm gonna say love, like your job. Most people don't even like their jobs. You're doing it because it provides the money you need to pay your bills. That's why you're doing it. You're not doing it because you love it, right? And someone must have been looking and say, oh, but that person's an engineer. They must love their job. No. It doesn't matter what the profession is, right? You could be the chief medical doctor. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that you like your job, right? That's the reality, folks. But what ONPASSIVE is going to help you do is going to help you do what it is that you actually want to do, what you actually love doing. And if that means nothing, so be it. I mean, I hope it's more than that. I hope it's not nothing. I just love to do nothing, right? I hope there's something that you love to do. But ONPASSIVE is going to allow that. Because as our dear sister said earlier, right, when money comes, it enhances, okay? It enhances whatever it is that you want to be, want to do, and so on, okay? That's what it does. So if there's something that you love, okay, maybe you want to be a singer. Okay, not all of us can sing as great as Miss Lady, right? Not all of us can, right? I know I certainly can't. I'll speak for myself then. How about that? No, I can't, right? But the bottom line is that all of us will be able to do whatever it is that we love and finally have the life that we've been looking for so long. For so long. Finally being able to give our children the best life possible. Folks, it's a big deal. And that's why this company is the game changer, because there's no other company out there that can do that for you. Yes, there's some company you may make some money with. Absolutely. Right? Absolutely. But it's not going to give you or give everyone, let me put it that way, then. Okay? It's not going to give everyone what they, no, most of those companies, some. And when I say some, I'm talking about few people are able to actually make money. Right? few. And that money doesn't last because guess what? Even that big shooter, they're off to another company, okay, to do it all over again. You understand? Very few people have actually been in one company and stayed with one company, for 40 years. You rarely find that. Okay? Just like your job, you rarely find people that actually work at a job for 40 years, especially in today's climate. Right? People are changing job. Well, yeah, I can't say that. But people are changing job, let's just say every 5 years. Okay? Some people change it every year. Right? Some people are giving up that job and they want to be a YouTuber now. They want to make social media, that's going to be their thing going forward. And so I was reading an article where this lady, she was making, I believe it was like $250,000 a year, right? I think she was an investment banker, I believe. Right? And she walked away from that to be a YouTuber, right? Now she makes like $1 million a year, right? Now, it doesn't mean that you can go do that, right? It doesn't mean that. You understand? Things worked out for her. She was willing to put in the hard work, and it didn't happen overnight. Right? It didn't happen overnight. Okay? It didn't happen in 1 year. Okay? But she kept at it. She kept at it. Here in ONPASSIVE, only thing we have to keep at is what? Continue to be patient. Let the company do what they need to do. And when there's an update to be delivered, to be provided, it will come. Right? Simple. Like, what can be easier than that, folks? Right? Just continue to stay engaged, continue to be aware of what's going on. Most of us are connected to some group or the other. You know what I mean? People access Facebook, people different other channels that people access, you know what I mean? And they stayed connected. Okay, staying connected don't mean that every single minute of the day I need to be paying attention to what's going on in ONPASSIVE land. It doesn't mean that. Okay, but it means that I give whatever time that I need to give to ensure that I know what's going on. That's all. Simple, folks. Simple, simple, simple. Right? And then we spend the rest of our time, doing what we need to do to pay our bills. Right? Before ONPASSIVE existed, what were we doing to pay our bills? You know what I mean? So continue to do that. No one said to walk away from your job. No one said to go quit your job. Right? That would be silly for anyone to advise you to do so. Right? As long as you still have debts, as long as you still have bills, you know what I mean? Right? So folks, just understand that we've made the right decision. ONPASSIVE is a game changer. No matter how you look at it, it is a game changer and it will change your life. There's no doubt about that. That you can take to the bank. Okay? It will change your life for the better. Okay? Let me add that piece in so that we're 100% clear. Okay? It will change your life for the better. Okay? Just continue to give it the time that it deserves. Okay? And know that our CEO's got our back. Okay? He's got our back. There's no doubt about that. Okay? So again, thank you so much. I turn it back to whomever it needs to be turned back to. All right? Thanks again, folks.
Okay, Brother Michael, thank you very much. I see these lovely ladies on the screen with you. I think they have some questions for you. So I'm going to hand over to Queen Sister Kanla and Sister Lerato.
Yes, thank you so much, Queen Sister Irene, and oh my, Brother Michael, you have just carried us to the next level. You're welcome. It's always exciting to have you, and I am just going to continue so I don't break your everything you've said, because it seems as you were there listening to my first question, what I was actually going to ask. You have answered almost the entire first question, but again, I am just so happy and so excited that I was just laughing to myself, making expressions, but that is how excited and intrigued I was, and I was looking forward to ask these questions to you. So welcome, welcome. In all, I would like to say what you have just explained. I wanted to put it out to you in this format. After listening to our CEO from the meeting with the 360, because he said something so profound by discussing the following. What is AI and where is it going to take us? Who is going to get there first? And who is going to be the first winner? I think everything you have just said right now has covered that spectrum. But I would like to piggyback on something else that was discussed, which I want to ask further is that Mr. Ash expressed his experience of working as a marketing, his experience doing marketing for over decades ago. And he talked about the multiple ways that marketing was done, and which told us a lot, the billboards, the flyers, the emails. And I was so intrigued by how much he said dedication, time, people needed to be put in. And sometimes to blast out more than 80,000 or even millions of emails out into the public just for the purpose of marketing to get your clients. That is what worked. That used to be good. It has been successful. But at this time, it looks like it is getting out of the market. It's no longer working. And it just blew my mind away that, wow, you were able to send out about thousands and thousands of emails, blast it out to everyone, internet marketing. But now imagine what AI will be able to do. If that data, that statistics is already there, then how much more with AI and his new approach, his unique approach of doing the marketing for us, where is going to take us? So where is it going to take us? I am just envisioning, and it's just blew my mind. Take it away.
Let me just say, it's going to take us all the way to the bank. That's the easiest way to put it. Because again, in business, it's all about the marketing. It really is. I can have a very bad product, okay? But if my marketing is good, I can still sell it, okay? If my marketing is good, I can still sell it if I have a bad product. If I have a bad company, okay? If my marketing is good, I can still sell whatever it is that I'm offering, okay? But can you imagine now you have a good company, you have good products, okay? And the marketing now, can you imagine how much more you'll be able to sell when you're able to have, as I mentioned, about having unlimited traffic, right? When he talked about 80 million emails a day, that's real, folks. Okay, I didn't do that many, but certainly I did more than my fair share, right? And that's just using certain tools. Right? You have autoresponders, you have bulk mailers, different IP addresses, servers, all these different things that you put together. And it's not that you have to be an expert. You just hire people to do this stuff, by the way. Okay? Like it's not rocket science. Find the people who can do what it is that you want them to do, and you pay them to do it. Right? I always talk about, cutting my grass and shoveling my snow and all that stuff. Again, find somebody who's willing to do it. You pay them, job is done. Okay? It's the same thing with marketing. Right? You can hire a marketing company, for example. Right? You could do that. You can hire, various marketing experts. You can do that. Okay? But the key in all of that is trust. Can you trust them? Because people will tell you lies all day long. Oh yes, I remember years ago, this grass cutting company. They came and they're like, oh yeah, when we're finished with your lawn, oh, you're gonna be the talk, of your community and all of this fancy stuff, right? It's okay, yeah, sure, what? Go ahead. Okay. The first, the person cut the grass, and when he was done, we're like, what is that? Like all the clippings was left on there, and because it was a good size, you know land, let's say, and it was just messy. I'm thinking, like, what in the world is this, right? So the person came, had a good talk, all this fancy stuff. We said, yeah, sure, we'll give you a try, and of course we got rid of him, and went on to use a different company. All right. So my point is, people lie to you about what they can do in their service and all this fancy stuff. That's what I talked about. Trial and error. You have to test it to see whether it's good or not. The same thing with marketing. You have to test the source to see if they're any good. You have to be able to track the source. Right? You have to be able to track it. Right? Oh, tracker. You have to be able to see, okay, how your data is being handled. See where the traffic is coming from to be able to analyze it. Okay. You have to be able to analyze, right? To be able to see what's working, what's not working, do split testing, all this fancy stuff, right? So the bottom line is that, the company can hire people to do it. But guess what? If you can create your own, right? If you have your own technology that can do all of this, right? If you have your own data center, okay, to make all of this work, because there's a lot that goes into this stuff, folks. There really is. There are people online right now that spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, okay, a month just on advertising. And they're just advertising something simple. It's nothing, fantastic that they're advertising. They may go to ClickBank, for example, and find a product there. It's okay, I'm going to go sell this product as an affiliate. And then they just put their marketing or traffic machine to work, and they're able to make sales left, right, and center because they have the ability, right, and the resource to be able to put that much money towards it. So when our CEO talked about doing 80 million emails a day, think of that quantity. Of course you're going to make sales, even if you were promoting something that was bad, as in, it wasn't such a great product or whatever, right? You're still going to make money. So can you imagine having that type of resource at our disposal where we can say, okay, you know what? Okay, I want 1,000 traffic, or I want 10,000, or I want 100,000. You can choose. You'll be able to choose what it is that you want based upon your budget, right? The bottom line is there'll be something for everyone, right? I can't look at Dr. P and say, well, Dr. P, is able to get 1 million traffic. So I should be able to get, maybe I can't afford 1 million. You know what I mean? Right? Each and every one of us will be able to see where we fit in, what we can manage, and we scale up. Right? Not because you can only afford 1,000 traffic, let's say 1,000 visitors. Right? It doesn't mean that's where you're going to end. That's just maybe where you started. Okay? And then you're able to scale up as income come in, you put some income back in, and so on and so forth. Right? The bottom line is where we're going with artificial intelligence, it's gonna blow us away. Right? And this is why he says that, when you see the finished product, when we're all done and you see what we've done for you, you're gonna be so happy, right? Because AI is going to take marketing, take traffic generation to another level. Okay? Because it'll be able to do it faster, right? It'll be able to get us what we're looking for, the eyeballs that I always talk about. Put the ads that are in front of people, right, in different ways unimaginable from before, right? It's a complete different ball game, folks. Like, as I said, yeah, sure, billboards, people see billboards and, those things worked in the past. And they still continue to work today, just not as effective as before. Email marketing still works today. Every single person on the internet has an email address, right? The problem is, how do I get my email to go through to their inbox and not end up in spam or not even register to them at all, right? That's the difficulty, because we know that email service providers have changed. You know what I mean? There was a time where people just spam, 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 spam. You can't do that today. You have to be mindful of how much emails you send out per hour and all this other fancy stuff. It doesn't mean that it can't be done. You just have to know how to do it, okay, and how to be able to get it through, how to go through spam filters, for example, right? So if I craft an email, right, and I want to use the word money in that email, okay, I have to break that word up so that it passes the spam filter, as an example, right? So artificial intelligence will know how to get through. If we're talking about email marketing, okay, it will know how to be able to get through the filters. Because there's always a way to stay ahead of everybody else, right? That just brings me to track and field, okay. Right? It's like, again, we're coming up on the Olympics, right? So again, you have people that, people take drugs. Okay, I mean, everyone should know this by now. Okay, so I hope I'm not breaking anybody's bubble. You know what I mean? But we should know that a lot of athletes take drugs. Okay, and so their task is to stay ahead of the testers, because they do get tested. Okay, but there's a plan, there's a process in place for them to stay ahead. You know what I mean? Of these testers, and that's why we see some incredible times out there in the 100 meters, 200 meters, and so on. Okay, because they're able to stay ahead of the people who actually test to see if they're taking drugs and what have you, right? So that just pop into my head for whatever reason. But the point is that in marketing, it's the same thing. You have to be able to stay ahead, right, of these email providers, who want to prevent you from communicating to people. Because for me, if somebody send me a spam email, just delete it. Because I actually go into my spam folder and check what's in there. Because sometimes something I'm looking for actually ends up there by mistake. So I always check, right? And I know that, that's spam, that's spam. Okay, delete, delete, delete. I don't have to open it. I just delete them. You know what I mean? So what harm was that to me? That's just to me personally. But some people take offense to it. Some people, my gosh, I need to report this email because why did they send me this? And okay, some people just doing too much, right? Because again, I like the easy way. Just click, delete, done, move on. Okay. The bottom line is that artificial intelligence is going to help us to be able to create more traffic, make it more targeted, so more relevant to what it is that we have to offer, right? Like I said, if we're selling O Connect as an example, and AI is able to detect individuals who are in that space, people that are looking for this product, looking for audio, video conference platforms, right?
Right.
If it's able to detect people that are currently using Zoom, right? If it's able to detect people who are currently using Skype and so on, right? Okay, those are people I want to put O Connect in front of, no? Yeah, that would make sense. If I know that you're using Zoom, I want to put O Connect in front of you. If I know you're using Skype or GoToWebinar or any of the others, I want to put O Connect in front of you. You understand? If I know you're a marketer, I want to put O Tracker in front of you. Because most marketers are not even analyzing their data. Okay? They're not. You know what I mean? Most people they just advertise whatever, and they don't really know what's really going on in their business. Okay, you should use O Tracker. You have people that are using links that they should shorten. So if I can find these individuals and put O Trim in front of them, hey, even though it's free, that's okay, because I want people to come into my ecosystem on a free basis, right? Because it's easier to get them in. They don't have to pay anything. They come in now, and then over time, right, they'll eventually buy something. Thank you very much. Right? It's like people have their YouTube channels or Facebook channels and all these things, and they have subscribers, they have followers. Okay, if you're trying to monetize that over time, you're expecting that these people will actually buy something that you eventually will promote. Okay, that's how you make the bigger bucks, not just from views of your videos and so on. Right? You want to be able to sell products to your subscriber base or your followers. Okay. So the bottom line is that artificial intelligence is going to help us do so much more than what we could have done before. Right? And so that's going to put us in a different stratosphere when it comes to marketing. And who's going to get there first? I throw it out to you and I say ONPASSIVE will, where that is concerned. We don't have to be first in everything AI, but we want to be first where marketing is concerned, because if you have the marketing in check, it is a license to print money, folks. I'm telling you, it's just common sense, right? It's just common sense. If you can control the marketing aspect of any business, we're not just talking about ONPASSIVE, we're talking about any business. So think of all the companies that are out there, all the people that are out there struggling with their business. And if you can just offer just that to them, it's a game changer.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
Awesome. Yes.
I'm blown away. Do you
Me
want me to
too.
finish my second question, or you want us to take one each?
I would just like to ask him something quickly. My question, I have only one question for Brother Mike.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, okay. So I just have one question, and this is based on mindset, right? I was just following the conversation that you had with Julie, and I found it very intriguing because the conversation was about, of course, our company, but you concentrated more on mindset. And you just said that, for people to make it, all they had to do was to sign up, basically, to come in and to say, okay, fine, we are here. And by doing that, that was the first step of their, paving the way to prosperity and making it. But I also feel like, from the conversation that you had with Julie, you were talking about endurance and perseverance. And I sat there and I thought, okay, fine. I mean, it takes more than you signing up. If you're going to sign up and just in the middle be a giver upper, in the middle, you don't have a strong mental will to win. You don't have that tenacity to want to make it at all costs. I mean, our CEO is a great demonstration of that, because he talks about, of course, he doesn't want to die, but he always says do or die. I mean, there's no plan B. It's plan A. We only have plan A here. So I just wanted you to talk to me about what it takes. How for some people, they don't have the capacity to build that endurance, or maybe they think they do, but they give up quickly, or when things don't turn out the way to their timeline, what they think it should work now. You built a very successful business, and you know what it takes. You know that certain things you will plan that they'll happen tomorrow, but you have to be flexible with your timeline and be flexible to changes that happen in the business, and as the business, takes form and everything. So, but I just want you to address that a little bit more, because I loved what you said there. And I want for people who were not there to hear what it takes, mentally, the endurance and the perseverance that somebody has to have in order to win, not only in ONPASSIVE, but in life in general. We have to have perseverance. We have to have that endurance in order for us to walk into our blessing, because certain things you really have to build that attitude of, I'm not going to give up. So please expatiate to me a little bit more on that, because I really loved what you said. So I would like for you to go into that. Thank you.
Well, here's the thing, though, right? And again, another reason why ONPASSIVE is a game changer, because in your traditional business, all of what you said, all of what I said on that particular episode, is true. But ONPASSIVE is a different animal, if I can say so, right? Because yes, in business in general, of course you have to persevere. We should all know the stories of so many individuals over the years, who started on something. We can talk about the KFC guy, and how many no's he got and all this stuff, trying to get started. You know what I mean? No, and no, no, like no one was willing, to help him, right? But that didn't stop him. He kept on going, and of course, we have KFC today. Right? We know the struggles that McDonald's had in the beginning, right? Apple, right? Apple had their share of struggles in the beginning. Steve Jobs got fired and all this fancy stuff. You know what I mean? And went back to the company and all of this. And if he didn't go back to Apple, we wouldn't have Apple today. We just wouldn't, right? So we know there's lots of stories out there. The Facebook story, Microsoft, all these companies, great companies. But we know their story, or we should, right? And so we know that it takes perseverance. You understand? You have to have that "I'm not going to give up" attitude. Like you really have to, right? And not just in business, but in life. You've got people in relationships and marriages. You know what I mean? And some people are just can't be bothered 6 months into a marriage and they're divorced. You know what I mean? Whereas you have people who've been married for 50 years. You know what I mean? And was it all fun and games and party and love? And no, right? I'm sure they had their share of struggles and times when they wanted to give up and wanted to walk away, and you know what I mean. But they managed to work it out and kept on going, right? So it's all aspects of life. School, right? You have some kids that go to university, they drop out. No, this is too stressful. I can't take it. I'm done. I'm finished. I'm gone, right? And we have others who maybe they didn't do so well in that first year, right? It's a new environment, it's a new way, it's a faster pace, all these things, right? But they kept on going though, you know what I mean? And was able to graduate in the end, right? There's so many stories of people, adults, going back to school and and getting a degree, right? After age 40. You know what I mean? Like there's so many stories out there of people who've persevered and just kept on going and refused to give up. You know what I mean? Until they got their breakthrough. I've known people who've been in network marketing, for example, and they've tried, company after company after company, and after 30 years, they finally got that breakthrough company where they became a millionaire. Right? I've seen all of this, right? And so, I've seen people who've lost millions of dollars start over from scratch and was able to build themselves back. I've seen all of this stuff, folks, right? You have to persevere if the goal is that important to you. If it's not important to you, it's easy to walk away from it. It's easy to walk away after, loss. It's easy to walk away. It's easy to give up. Okay. But if it means that much to you, if your dreams are important to you, you would never walk away from ONPASSIVE. Right? If your dream means that much to you. You understand? If it's important that you want to be able to accomplish, all of that, then you're not going to walk away, folks. It's just that simple. Why? Because it's the only company that gives you a realistic chance to actually accomplish your dreams. You see? That's the difference. You can walk away from wishy-washy companies. You know what I mean? That, but something that is meaningful. But the difference with ONPASSIVE, though, is that all you have to do is to be in. So as long as you stay in, you're going to win. Even if you give up on ONPASSIVE, but you're still in. Because I know some folks have, right? Let's be real, okay? But as long as you stay in, then you have folks that they refuse to walk away. Even though they're speaking negative and all this other fancy stuff, they refuse to walk away because in the back of their mind, like, man, but what if it is real though? What if it actually does work out? What if he actually delivers what he says? What if it's actually possible? I already explained to you that it's possible. That it's possible to automate the sales process. That's all you need to grasp. Is it possible to automate the sales process? Is it possible that I can actually sell without me selling? I've seen it. I've done it. I've done it for others. So I know it is possible, right? But what ONPASSIVE is doing is a totally different level, folks. Different level, right? Different level. To use technology in such a way that you can make sales fail. and you don't have to even be involved in the process. As far as you have to pick up a phone and call somebody, you have to respond back to an email. You understand? You don't have to, because if you have to be involved in the process, it's not going to work. Because the way I would respond to someone is not going to be the same way you would respond to someone. The way I'm going to answer a question is not the same way that you're going to answer a question. You understand? That's why it doesn't work. But if you can take, let's say Engineer and Mike had all the answers and they're perfect answers, and you can bottle that. You understand? And so every time there's a question, it's Engineer Mike's answer. Then of course you're going to succeed, right? That's what we're talking about, folks. Being able to bottle the way we market and present that to Irene, present that to Julie Peer, present that to Kenla, like everyone, like every single, present that to them. That's how you win, folks. For years, you have people talk about duplication and leverage and all this other fancy stuff. Okay, but show me who's actually done that, though, time and time again, for a long time. Show me, right? It's always a struggle. It's always a battle, right? Even people who are affiliate marketers, okay, not multi-level, just affiliate marketers. You just have a product and you just sell the product. Even those, it's a challenge for them. It's a challenge, right? ONPASSIVE is a game changer because even that individual, right? It's just a matter of traffic. That's why of all the products that ONPASSIVE is going to provide, traffic makes ONPASSIVE the game changer. It's traffic. It's not OConnect. It's not OTracker. It's not Academy. Okay? It's not OStaff, right? It's traffic. That's what makes ONPASSIVE the game changer. And that's why I said, and our CEO said it already, about if you can control the marketing, if you have that on lock, okay, that you are the boss of marketing, right? Then all your dreams, it's a done deal. Folks, it is over. Okay? It is over. Struggling and all this stuff, that's of the past. If you can do that, and ONPASSIVE will do just that for all of us. Okay? So again, ONPASSIVE is different. It's in a league of its own from a business standpoint as far as what you need to be able to do, as far as perseverance, as far as having the right mind, because you can have a negative mindset and still win it ONPASSIVE. That's the point I'm trying to make here. Okay? So even if your mindset isn't right, even if you think that, I can't believe, Julie Peer got me involved in this business. What is this? Right? Like, come on. Right? I was expecting my bank account to be loaded with money falling from the sky, and here I am still struggling. Even if that's your mindset, you're still going to win. As long as you go through, and do what is needed, which is, again, activate the account, do just a little basic stuff that every single one of us can do, right? As long as we do that, as long as we stay engaged, as long as we know what's going on, just those simple things that does not require our time, right? We don't need to spend hours a day on that stuff. No. You know what I mean? Simple things, right? Making sure, okay, when traffic is available, okay, go buy the traffic. Okay, it comes out and give you the traffic for free. Okay, go buy the traffic. You buy the traffic. Okay, everything is connected now, right? And it's just a loop. Just a loop. Okay, so you can actually dictate what your paycheck is going to be. Can you imagine you have a job that you actually dictate your paycheck? Okay? And you can dictate when you get a raise. And not just a 10-cent raise or $1 something raise. Like, what is that? And people fight for that stuff, by the way. Don't get me wrong. People fight for that dollar raise, right? But you can actually dictate what that pay raise is going to be. So if you want it to be tenfold, you can make it tenfold, right? That's going to be up to you, right? That's going to be up to you. So ONPASSIVE is just in a different box where that is concerned, but where everything else is concerned, right? Yes, it takes perseverance. It takes longevity. If you're in the game long enough, you're going to succeed, right? LeBron James has been playing basketball now for, was it 18 years, I believe? Like, so if you're around that long, well, of course you're going to be, the number one scorer and all this stuff. It's not like he played, for 5 seasons. You know what I mean? He's been around. So if you stay in the game long enough, if you're healthy long enough, you will set records and all these fancy stuff, right? That's just how that works. Okay, you could be the best. You could be, Usain Bolt, right? But if you don't stay healthy, all that means nothing, right? You would not be, winning the Olympic gold and all of this fancy stuff if you're not healthy. You have to stay in the game. For us, we have to stay in the game. It's easy to stay in the game called ONPASSIVE. It's easy. Like, easy. Right? All of us are in the game right now, are we not? Is anyone having any hardship staying in the game? There's no hardship staying in the game. You don't have to come up with, oh man, I need to find $1,000 this month to pay for blah, blah, right? No. You understand? Oh man, I need to go build this website. Oh, I have to go do a live. No. I have to go make this video. No. You understand? Right? None of that stuff. Right, folks? ONPASSIVE is giving us something that all of us can do. All of us. Which is what? Just wait patiently. Okay? It is that simple, folks. Game changer. Game changer. That's what this company is for all of us.
Thank you, my brother. I knew that you're going to explain that and I knew that you're going to say the right things. So thank you so much for that answer. Thank you. Sister Kanla?
All right. And with that mindset, it's just perfectly leading us to my next question. Thank you, Brother Michael, for that. My question is, based on the current challenges that we are all, as a company, and our CEO mentioned in one of the webinars, going through or currently right now. For example, he talked of in the OTech Pro webinar, he talked of challenges regarding the O Connect migration, restructuring, the new processors. He understands this completely and better than the rest of us. And he did a perfect job and continues to do an excellent job trying to explain these things to us without actually revealing or giving away some of the things that he's not supposed to reveal, because we all know what happens when he says things and then either miscommunication or interpretation, or for competitor reasons as well, or even legal reasons. But then at times it made it sound or feel like he was speaking in coded language, and it was exciting. The meeting was very, very intriguing, especially hearing about our data center and trying to give us how by the time the O Connect, everything migration is done, is going to blow our minds away. So can you help us put it in a more simple way or simple terms for us, especially for those that are not technical or tech savvy, so we can actually understand what some of these challenges are in a layman terms?
Okay, so
thank you.
Let me put it this way. We don't need to understand any of that, right? Like, it is the truth. We don't. I mean, again, I know some people, they're inquisitive and their mind just works, at a different level, and they just have to know all the details and need to know everything, and and I'm saying from where we're standing or sitting, right? We don't need to know any of that stuff. Because it's not like that information, we're going to get the information and then we're going to take the information and go do something with the information. What are we going to do with the information? You know what I mean? I'll use my car, right? You've heard me say so many times, I just press the button and just go, right? But if something goes wrong under the hood, I got to call somebody. You know what I mean? I won't be able to do nothing underneath there. But yeah, I can, put in the windshield washer fluid, I can put that in. You know what I mean? If I need to add some oil, I can actually do that, right? But that's probably about it. You know what I mean? I can check if the oil, if it's dirty or something. I don't do it, but I can do it, right? I don't need to know what goes on underneath there. You know what I mean? Like what actually makes my car work. And if there's a problem, explain the problem. Just bring it to the mechanic and say, hey, just deal with it, right? And then they fix it and they tell me everything, but it just goes through one ear and out the other. It didn't really do nothing for me. All I want to know is my car fixed? Right? Am I good to go? You know what I mean? And so where this business is concerned, all I want to know is, are we good to go? Right? I don't need to know the little details here and there and this and that and how and when and why and if, and I don't need to know any of that stuff because it's not going to make a difference in my life, me knowing that information. It just isn't. It's just more information that my brain has to process, right? And I try to minimize what my brain needs to process, right? For me personally, I think that makes me more effective in what I do, right? By minimizing only stuff that comes in here that I want to process, I want to work on. So, I'm able to come up with solutions and think and it just makes a world of difference by keeping this guy up here as clear as possible. So don't try to tell me about, this and that. Just don't. You know what I mean? So for me, I say to people, you can't control that stuff. So I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to have expectation about A, B, C, D, and E. I'm just going to be calm. I'm just going to be still. I'm just going to be patient. I'm just going to pay attention. Know what's going on as far as, okay, yeah, there's some migration going on. And yeah, understand that part, but not the intricate details of what exactly is going on. Don't need to know it. You know what I mean? Because I said, it's not productive in me knowing it. Right? That's not necessary at all, right? But at the end of the day, it's the finished product is what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for, right? You didn't come in here to be a tech specialist. That's not why you joined ONPASSIVE. You know what I mean? You didn't come in here to understand the intricate details of how marketing works. You didn't come in here for that. You understand me? You know why you came in here. I don't have to even say it, but you know why. You know why you got involved in ONPASSIVE. So that's what you should be looking forward to. Let the company do all the heavy lifting, like we always say. Let them do what they need to do. Let them figure out what needs to be figured out, whether it's legal, whether it's technical, whether it's product-based. Let them figure it all out. Compensation, traffic. You guys figure all that stuff out. You know what I mean? Like, do you want to learn about search engine optimization? Why? You know what I mean? Like, why do you need to learn that stuff? I don't need to learn it, right? Why? Again, I'm just going to pay someone to do, you know what I mean? Pay someone, right? So I'd rather pay for stuff, right? I need legal advice. I go pay a lawyer. I don't try to figure it out. And I don't want my lawyer trying to explain to me all the legalities and the legal terms and legalese. Don't. You know what I mean? Just get the job done. That's all I want my lawyer to do. Get the job done. You know what I mean? I want this corporation to be set up. Just get it done. I don't need to know how you're gonna do it, when you're gonna do it, this, that. I don't want to hear it. Just get it done. I'm paying you to get it done. Our business ONPASSIVE, our CEO, the staff, everyone that's involved, just get the job done, right? And when it's done, I'm with you all the way. I'm with you for the journey, right? But I'm not dependent upon knowing every single detail that's involved. It's not, you know what I mean? To me, it just doesn't serve any purpose for me to know all of that. And so that's my advice to people. That's what I suggest to them. You don't need to be broken down to you in layman's terms. You don't need to fully grasp, you know what I mean, how that works, right? It's like you have a job. Okay? And I'm sure there's some things within your job that you have no clue how it works. You maybe work for an airline, okay, but not because you work for an airline mean you understand how the plane, such a massive you know item, can actually get up there in the air and stay up there, 30,000 feet. You know what I mean? I'm sure you know nothing about that stuff. You work for the airline, you got pilots, okay? They fly the plane, okay? And there's a lot of stuff that they themselves don't even know. You know what I mean? I just found out that a coroner, right? They just need to have a high school diploma. I was blown away. That's all they need. So I actually thought it was no, the person actually went to university, had some kind of special training, blah blah blah. No. So think about that. The person who's trying to tell you, oh yeah, well, this is how the person died. They just need a high school diploma. Check it out for yourself. I just found this out yesterday. And I was blown away by it. Right? But again, why am I saying all of that? There's some things that we just don't need to know. It's not gonna change anything. You know what I mean? It really isn't. It's not gonna make the business go any faster. It's not going to get us to the finish line any faster. It's not going to put any more money in my pocket because I know all of that stuff. It just isn't. All that's going to do is create more stress. Our sister talked about stress. Stress can actually kill you. So why take on stress? You already have enough in your life. Why take that on? Right? You know why you came here on passive. Focus on that. And as long as we're moving towards that goal, then all is good. And all is good in on passive. All is good. Right?
Thank you, Brother Michael. Thank you so much. Absolutely. Oh, now over to you, Sister Irene. That was the last of my question.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you, Brother Michael. We always look forward to you coming because you give us information that, keeps us abreast. So, all right. We know you've been talking for goodness 2 hours now, so we're gonna give you a water break, and we will do updates, and then we will come back and do questions and discussions because I know there are people here who are waiting to ask something, one thing or another, Brother Michael. So we'll give him a water break. We'll do our updates, and then we'll come back and do question and discussions. So
Yeah, I miss Brother Michael's mindset on that weight loss mindset.
I don't know one.
Not eat, reduce the quantity. I was cracking up the eyes. So like, not be part of my question. Just joking.
When our CEO says data is the commodity of the 21st century, so what does it mean? Could you please elaborate to us? Thank you.
Okay, good to see you, Dr. Benny. Okay, so we know that everything in life comes back to sales, right? Everything. It's about selling, 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 selling. We see all the companies out there, all the businesses out there. Everyone is vying for your dollar. Okay. If no consumer, doesn't spend anything, then all these companies go out of business. Right? It's just that simple. Everything you can think of, from whether you're buying books, you're buying plaques, you're buying TVs, computers, right? Homes, cars, right? Food, right? There's more than one company that's out there selling these products and services. Okay, and so that means there's competition. Everyone is vying for your data, your information. They're trying to find ways and means to be able to reach you, right? And this has been steadily growing. As we get into the internet age, and people want to know your phone number. They want to know obviously your cell phone in particular. They want to know your email address, right? They want to be able to know how can they communicate with you, usually because they want to sell you something, right? Whether it's the doctor's office, the dentist's office, everybody trying to sell you something, right? That's just how things are. The insurance person, they talk to you about life insurance. They want to talk to you about critical insurance. They want to talk to you about disability insurance. You know what I mean? That everyone is vying for your information because that's the commodity. That is what's out there. That is what everyone is trying to get. Because if you can control that, then you have an endless source to be able to generate revenue, generate sales, generate wealth, generate income, right? It's all about your information, right? So if I know if I'm a car salesperson, right, I want to know, okay, well, who's in the market, to buy a car, and not just who's in the market to buy a car. Well, what kind of car do you currently have? Do you have a car, right? What's your age? Are you married? Are you single? Right? All this information they want to know about you because then they can target you and decide exactly what to put in front of you because they're not trying to waste their money. They're not trying to say, let's just send a blanket advert to everyone, knowing that the majority of people will not buy. No, I want to be able to take my money and put it into advertisement that's only going towards the people that I know have a good chance of buying what I have to offer. So the more I know about you, so that's your data, the more I know about you is the more target I can make my offer to you, right? I'm not trying to talk to someone about retirement if the person is 20 years old, right? Yes, you could talk to that 20-year-old person, but it's not going to be as receptive as someone who's in their 50s. That person's getting closer to retirement now, so then that person now is going to be more engaged about a conversation about retirement, right? When you're 20 years old, you think you're invisible. Oh, I'm going to live forever, right? You ain't thinking about retirement. You know what I mean? But somebody's in there, 55, 57, 59. They're getting up there, they're thinking, man, I'm closing in on retirement. I need to start to focus more, on capital preservation, right? I'm not trying to risk my money out. You know what I mean? So the more
Peace, blessings, not love to you.
Then it's the
Blessed
more they
and
can
fabulous
construct
favored.
whatever advert they want to put in front of you,
Yeah.
right? And that's what we're dealing with right now. So if you can control that, so that goes back to the marketing that we talked about, right? Having that endless source, that unlimited resource to be able to put all of our products in front of these individuals that's looking for it. Then it's going to bring us more sales. It's going to bring you sales faster. It's going to bring you more sales, right?
Yes.
And it's going to give you repeat customers, right? So all those things are packaged together, to entice you because it's all about the company's bottom line. The difference with ONPASSIVE is that ONPASSIVE is not willing to abuse that information, right? Because companies sell your information over and over and over and over again. Okay, you sign up for one thing and then you're being bombarded by a whole bunch of other stuff because nobody reads the fine print. Nobody reads the terms and agreements. No one goes through all that. Where they tell you, that based upon you giving us your information, it's okay for we're going to have some partners that may contact you. It's okay for that because they know they're going to sell your information to these partners. Okay. And so they want to cover, from a legal standpoint, they cover themselves.
Okay.
So they put all these things in there. But you and I, we don't read that stuff.
All right.
Pay attention to it.
Send me the
So we
address.
get bombarded with other stuff.
All right, cool.
Right. So it is extremely important. You want to be the one controlling that information, right? You want to be a data gatherer. You know what I mean? Even think of your doctor. The more information a doctor has about you is the more they can diagnose whatever the situation may be, right? That's when you go to the doctor, they're always asking you for information, right? You have to tell them, why are you here? What are you feeling? You know what I mean? Have you experienced this? Have you done that? And so on and so forth. They're in the data gathering business. Okay? So everyone, all professions, all disciplines, all industries, that's all they're focusing right now is gathering information about people. Now, here comes AI. When you bring artificial intelligence into the equation, right, it's able to gather way more information. It's be able to sort out the information way faster than a human being can, right? It's able to think quicker than you and I. Okay, so a lot more information can be processed. In other words, right? A lot of algorithms come in. The computer, the software can process all of this and spit out a solution, right? To give whoever it is that's gathering that information, make it meaningful to them, right? So we take old tracker as an example. Okay, so you have people that are looking at your ads from India, from Japan, from Australia, and so on, right? And it's there to try and gather information to say, okay, what's the best use of your advertising dollars? So in other words, you have this product. Don't spend money trying to advertise to people in Japan because they're not looking for this product. Focus on people in Australia. Okay? Don't focus on people in Australia, focus on people in Nigeria. You understand? The data that comes to you can be analyzed to make sense. So then that way you're able to maximize your return on your money that you're putting in for advertisement. Right? So all those things are important. So yeah, whoever can control the data, whoever can control the information, that person, that entity, that company, right, is going to be leaps beyond everyone else that's out there. That's why over the years, like even I can think of myself and the contacts that I've gathered over the years. Clearly, the more contacts I have, right, it makes it that much easier when I want to sell something, when I market something, right, to get people to sign up, get people to buy, and so on and so forth. If you have nobody to contact, how are you going to make money? Right? But if I have thousands, hundreds of thousands, even millions, then it makes it that much easier for me to be able to sell. Right? And so that's why we want AI inside there, because AI can help us specifically to our own passive business. Okay, I don't have a team, right? Yeah, we've heard that saying so much, which simply means you don't have any potential customers. But AI can quickly gather what you need and provide the potential customers for you. Okay? So then that even if I don't have a team, you're going to win. Okay? Because all that is going to be done for you. The traffic's going to be provided for you. So you don't have to worry about, oh, well, I've been in this business now for 5 years and I've not invited not even one person. How am I going to make money? Well, you're going to make money because simply there's traffic's going to be available. Traffic is people. People view what we have to offer. Some of them will buy. When they buy, that's a sale. You make money. Simple. You keep doing that over and over and over again. You go from making $1 to $2 to $5 and so on and so forth, right? I'm just throwing, fake numbers out there, obviously, right? The point is you make a sale, you make 2 sales, 5 sales, 10 sales, and it continues to grow over time. That's how we make money in this business. Okay, and if you happen to be those who actually did something and got a head start, right, then it just puts you that much further, as far as getting to your income goal, right? That's all that does. But at the end of the day, regardless of who you are, you're in, so you're going to win, right?
Thank you so much for your answer. I really appreciate you, and I believe everyone, you guys have learned from this question. Queen Julie, do you have any question on the chat, or do you have anything to ask Mr. Michael Williams?
No, there are no questions in the chat as yet, Dr. Benny. But I have a question of my own. Brother Michael Williams, based on what we have been hearing and seeing now, what will be your advice to us and those to come to our business? Thank you.
Okay, I think you may need to expand on that question. So you're saying, what would be my advice to those who will come to our business?
Yes.
Okay, so advise about what?
Well, advise on how
Julie,
we go.
Julie, take your question all over from the beginning so he can understand, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Brother Michael. Based on what we have been hearing and seeing now, Mr. Michael, what will be your advice to us, to those to come to our business?
I still don't get it. Maybe I'm slow today, but I still don't get it. Maybe you can help me understand.
Okay, big bro, get the question. She is asking you based on what us on Perseverance have been hearing and seeing lately in our ecosystem and what is happening to us in the company. What will be your advice to us or Perseverance and whoever want to come to join our business?
So let me ask you then. What have we been hearing and seeing?
Julie, go.
Right. So
What do you hear? What do
you have to bring that to the table, right? When you bring that to the table, now I know what you're talking about, right? Because there's lots of stuff that we're hearing and seeing, and
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Sorry, go ahead.
So be more specific for me, please.
We've been hearing good news from our CEO. We've been hearing great things coming up. We've been hearing, all of the wonderful things that he is putting in place for us. So, based on that,
what would be my advice to us?
Brother Michael was saying to wait.
You people.
Brother Michael was saying to wait. Solve the process.
Let us just be patient.
So, here's the thing. If we truly understand, and I keep going back to this, if we truly understand, and I know you're asking the question because others, may benefit from it, etc. Not necessarily you per se. I get all that, right? So, but for everyone, right? If we understand that we have tried, right? We have, folks. I mean, let's be real to ourselves. We have tried. You tried that business a week ago, and after a week, you're still not ahead. You tried that business a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago. You know what I mean? 10 years ago, 20 years ago. You've been trying, right? You heard about this. You joined it. You did your stint, whether it be 6 months, a year, 5 years, whatever. Okay, it didn't work out. You tried another one, and we've been there, right? We've done that. We've been doing all of that, right? And it just seems like we're just spending money. And, how do we win, right? So if we get all of that and we understand the reason why we've been unable to win, because as I said, if you understand marketing, if you know how to market, then doesn't matter what company you join, you will always win. You will always make money. You always make more than what you put in if you can market, right? And that's why companies spend millions of dollars on advertising, right? Millions. You know what I mean? Why would a company spend for a 30-second commercial millions of dollars? Like, why would they do that, right? They do it because they understand marketing is the key. No matter how good the brand is, McDonald's still spend money on commercials, right? We're still seeing Ronald McDonald the clown on TV. You know what I mean? You'd think after all these years, why in the world would McDonald's still have to advertise? Why? But they do, right? Because that's the lifeblood. That is the lifeblood of any business. You drain out your blood, you're dead, right? You got no blood in your body, you're dead. You're not going to survive without blood, okay? So from a business standpoint, marketing is their lifeblood. They have to have people that they're putting their business, their services, their products in front of. They have to. If they don't have that, they're dead. Okay? And so if we understand that ONPASSIVE solves that problem, solves it, because it is a problem. Go talk to any of your friends that may be in, I don't know, Mary Kay or Amway or Bellaluca or whatever company, right? Somebody decides to go on ClickBank and they want to sell ClickBank. Go talk to them. Talk to anybody who's trying to sell something. They open up a restaurant and after a year they're out of business. Ask them what happened. Why did you fail? Is it because you couldn't cook food?
Peace,
Right? That ain't the reason. Is it because your
peace,
food
blessings, enough, only plenty love to
you
you.
didn't have enough people come in, and not just come in today, but come tomorrow and the next day and then next
Wow,
day. You need a constant flow of traffic. You need people
baby.
to continue to come. That's why you have companies talking about location, right? I can't go open up a Walmart and there's no homes in the area. You'll not see a Walmart, in the desert. You'll not see a Walmart
Wow,
in an industrial complex. You know what I mean? You're going to find
wow.
Walmart. Usually there are homes in the area, right? Location is important. The
Caribbean
same when it comes to
queen.
the internet. Right?
Caribbean
Your
queen.
location has to do with your domain name, okay? Your website address. That's your location. That's your
Eh?
real estate. Okay? That's why we ONPASSIVE need to have a domain name. Okay? Not having onpassive.com
I am
/
muted.
blah 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 blah. No, that's not what we want. Okay?
Oh, yeah,
So
man.
the point
When I
is,
said
if you
peace,
understand
I wasn't. And I stopped.
there is a solution, we
When I
have a
said peace,
solution in
I look up
ONPASSIVE. Then you can just sit back, relax, and say,
and
hey,
I was
I
mute.
found the Holy Grail.
Yeah, I'm
I
muted
can
now.
stop
Oh my goodness.
solution.
My queen. Caribbean queen. We just one. And
But it really is.
You know, say hot fit you.
Okay, you're gonna hear about some new thing, and all of a sudden, hey, here's the vaccine for it. You know what I mean?
Hot
That's
fit
how it
you.
works. They create the problem. Here's the solution. We have a problem, but we also have the solution.
Mercy.
The solution is
Wow.
ONPASSIVE. Why?
Oh, hold on.
Captain.
Turn your head to your left.
That's why. If you take out
What a
take the Catman out
cockroach.
of it, there is no Catman ONPASSIVE. Then ONPASSIVE becomes like every other business. The game changer.
You do that.
Being able to, someone can just pick and choose how much traffic they want,
Queen
when
Miriam.
they want it, where they want it
Queen
to be
Miriam.
delivered, and so on.
Come on now.
That is what every single person should be looking for. So I don't care what business you're in, you need
Mercy.
ONPASSIVE. You understand? I don't need you to make
Why?
ONPASSIVE.
I don't know why people are so
Doesn't have to be.
creative.
If you have a business,
But they think that
right, and you want to build that business, you need
that God
ONPASSIVE.
is not a creator.
And I don't care how good you are. Okay?
Call people creative.
Be able to take advantage
But
of
yet say them think God is not
to leverage other
creative.
money and so on. Okay? And you have to make leverage work for you. If you want true
Don't make no sense.
freedom, where money's no
Amen.
where your time is your own, right? Where you get to live life on your
All right.
terms. Understand? That
Amen,
can't happen
church.
with a job.
So,
Can't.
I sent you everything already
Again, they may lie to you and tell you can, and no, that's not true.
for Mindset
Okay?
Monday.
This is why people have, what they call it, side hustle.
So remember to send it to the lady.
Side business, home-based business, whatever, right? People go looking because what they have is enough. So understand that everyone that's out there coming into ONPASSIVE, right? You have the solution.
Hold on.
You have the solution. It's a done deal for you. Anyone that chooses to come in. Okay?
Hold on.
What are we inviting them in to do? Right? They're coming in
Peace,
because they
blessings,
may have
love
an
to
existing
you.
business that they need help in building. No problem. We got you covered. Right? They may have products that you want to sell. No problem. We got you. We will help you sell your products. They have a service they want to offer. No problem. We'll help you offer that service. Maybe you want to teach people.
Yes, I'm muted.
How to crochet. You know what I mean?
Where?
No problem. Use
In what? In Zoom?
teach people. Where do you get the people to teach? You need the traffic.
Oh, in YouTube.
You
Oh,
understand? You have a
okay,
local
okay, okay.
business. You have issues because not enough people know about you. Okay, that's where you need marketing. You need to let the world know that, hey, I'm open for business, right? ONPASSIVE is the solution for every business that's out there on this planet. Every single one. Does it mean that every business is going to be part of ONPASSIVE? No, it doesn't mean that. But it is the solution though. Why? Because every single business needs traffic. They may not need no O Connect. They may not want, O Tracker. They may don't, they don't want a domain because they already have one. You know what I mean? They're not interested in e-learning. But what they will need, not want, need is traffic. Traffic, folks. You understand? So you provide the traffic, and it's a complete win, right? And so you have a business that's going to provide that for people, provide that for individuals, provide that for companies, corporations. Okay, that's why it's a slam dunk. So that's why all we have to do is sit back, relax, let the company do their thing, knowing that the solution is right here. Okay, and we're good to go. So that's my advice to people. Hey, if you're not in, you need to get in because you need what we have. Whether it's you need additional income, whether it is you have a business that you're struggling with, whatever the reason is, you need it ONPASSIVE, right? This is why ONPASSIVE itself is a game changer because now it's open to everyone. Everyone. You can't say that about other businesses. You can't. You can't say that, oh, what they have is for everyone. Not true. But what we have is for everyone because we also help other companies build their business. That's the difference, Michael. That's the difference. Okay? So, my dear Julie Pierre, I hope that's where this was supposed to go.
Thank you. Thank you, Brother Mike.
Sure. So, people have to understand, right? As far as I'm concerned, it's always about dollars and cents. Right? Let me just jot this down so I don't forget. Right? It's always about dollars and cents. Right? And I'm in a business that does not require my time, first and foremost. Right? It's not like I join a business for free and every day I have to watch videos or I have to, click on ads and links, and so it's taking my time. You know what I mean? Or every day I got to be in webinars and this and you know what I mean. So I'm putting an hour a day, 2 hours a day, 5 hours. You know what I mean? That's not ONPASSIVE. I'm certainly not doing that. Yeah, sure, in my case, I get messages, every day and stuff like that. But it's not like I'm getting, 1,000 messages a day, and you know what I mean. It's nothing that's taking me out from anything else that I'm doing, right? So it's not taking away my time, right? First and foremost. Second, it's not taking away my money. I'm not spending any money towards it, right? When was the last time I spent money towards ONPASSIVE? You know what I mean? That's a long time ago. So it's not like every day or once a month or every year or that's not the case. So it's not taking my time. It's not taking my money. So what's my problem? What's my problem? That's what I want to know. Well, if I'm in a business that's not taking my time and it's not taking my money, right? Oh, I have to wait. Oh my God. But yet, as I said earlier, people are willing to go work at a job, right, that isn't providing enough for their family. They're not making enough money. That's why some people end up with a second job, a third job, right? That's why some folks have to go back to school to go get retraining, whatever, to upgrade, all these things, because they need more money. That's why some people rent out their homes, the home that they live in, right? That's why some people have to do that, right? That's why they have to get somebody else to come live with them to help pay the mortgage, right? Help pay the bills, etc. Right? Or they have to move in with somebody You know what I mean? Right? And so on and so forth, right? That's the state that we're living in right now. I don't care where you are in the world. Okay? That's what's going on right now. Okay? It is not pretty out there. Okay? And I don't know if you follow, but you can look at what the CPI index is saying. You can look at what the PPI index is saying, and all these different things. Right? What inflation. You can take a look at all that stuff if you're into economics and what have you. Right? The bottom line is the picture that's been painted. The economy is not doing well. It just isn't. Okay? Which simply means that people are struggling. So I choose to align myself with a business that is not taking my time and is not taking my money. Then what is my problem? Right? When I know that it takes time to build a solid business. Right? I remember years ago with a company and told people about it. Now I'm telling you, this thing is gonna do well, blah blah blah. People came, they left and they come and they leave, all this fancy stuff. The company created hundreds of millionaires. Okay. But when we told people about it, they're like, oh, this is not gonna work, oh, this is this, oh, this is that, blah blah blah. Okay, yeah. Right? All this stuff. And all they have to do was be patient. You know that most companies that people join, if people were patient, then if they were consistent and just did just a little bit of work each day, just a little bit, not maybe less than an hour a day, if they just did that consistently, they would actually win. The reality is, people, they're not patient. You know what I mean? They're just not. It's now, 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 now. And that now is being intensified as we move forward. As the years go by, that now, now, now attitude mindset is being intensified, right? Where everything you want right now. You're watching TV, you don't even want to watch the commercial, right? You're watching the show on TV, and when the commercial comes on, you switch it to something else because you don't want to watch the commercial. The commercial is bothering you, right? It's like you're watching a YouTube video and these ads come on, right? It's like right? You find a way to fast forward to get out of the ad, and my wife just figured this out, by the way, and I was like, oh, okay, so that's how you do it. So when the ads come on, she figured out not to watch the ads and get back to her show that she's watching on YouTube. Right? That's just the climate that we're living in right now. So I'm saying to myself, well, I don't want to be like those people who are chasing this business and that business by spending money, right? Spending their time, spending their time, and end up keep losing. That makes no sense to me. Why not just be patient and continue doing what you're doing? Let the company do what the company is doing, and when everything is ready for you, here you go, right? It's just handed to you in a nice box, nice little ribbon on it, right? And you just open it, and poof, right? Things are running just the way you want it to run. Like, isn't that what people want? Right? No? People want the headaches. People want to be out there struggling, trying to figure out how marketing works. People want to have the headaches of trying to figure out how in the world can I make a sale? How can I make this business work? How can I get Johnny to join my business? Right? How can I get Susie to come on board with me? But I know it's the best thing in town. Why can't they see what I see? We don't pass it. We don't need anybody to see what we see. We just don't. Our business is all about customers. Right? It's all about customers. And so you get customers from traffic, from visitors. I guess I can't help but to say it over and over and over again until it sticks in people's heads to understand this is how you build a professional business. I don't need to chase family and friends and my dog and cat and trying to get anybody who would listen to me. That's nonsense. Right? There was a time that we did that, yes, because that's what we had back then. The hotel meetings and presentations and all this fancy stuff. But as technology come along, we evolve, folks. We do things different. Right? Just do things different. I can't remember the last time I did a live presentation in a hotel somewhere. It's got to be at least, years. Like years. You know what I mean? Because you found a better way. a more effective way, a more efficient way. Don't you want to be efficient in life? You know what I mean? Don't you want to spend the least amount of money to make the maximum amount of money? Don't you want to put out the least amount of effort to get the maximum return? Like, isn't that what people want? Or would you want to put out maximum effort to get a very small return? That makes no sense, right? Why would I want to just spend my entire day just working, and I have no time for my family. I have no time for my friends. I have no time to socialize. I have no time to have fun. What kind of life is that? Like, think about that. Think about your life right now, and you have to go. Is that how you want your life to be? Like, truly? Where you have to get up so early, go to a job that you don't like, come back home, it's just time to eat, shower, off the bed, repeat the next day. The weekend comes, like, oh, gotta go do groceries, gotta do laundry, right? You know what I mean? Like, you still don't have time for yourself, right? I see people, they have their cottages, and they sit on the highway for hours to get to a cottage, right? Come Friday, to get to their cottage, right? And they spend literally a full day at the cottage, like all day Saturday at the cottage. But come Sunday morning, they're going to get back hours again to go through traffic.
Recording stopped.
Right? Like, people doing that stuff, and I'm saying, like, and they think that's living. That isn't living. It just isn't. Why would I want to flip that around where I can work a few hours or maybe a few days, and the majority of my time I get to be at my cottage and enjoy my time? You know what I mean? Why not flip that around where I spend 5 days at a cottage?
Recording in progress.
Right? Why would I want that to be the case? You understand? But no, people are just stuck in their ways and just don't get it. And so when they come and they see, well, okay, why are we not there yet? Why are we still waiting? Why? But what are you doing while we're waiting? What are you doing? You know what I mean? People don't want to take responsibility for themselves. That's the real issue, right? People want to go out there and blame somebody else for their failure, right? All these people they're negative and going on and all this stuff, it's the real reason. They want to find someone to blame. Oh, let's blame Ash, right? Let's blame Dr. Benny. Let's blame Engineer Mike, right? Let's blame Marty. Let's blame Brett. Let's blame Chris. You know what I mean? They're trying to find somebody to blame, right? Blame for what? For exposing you to something that's going to change your life? You know what I mean? Right? Do we see people that are always celebrated? And now, I don't mean, I'll go back to sports, right? You see that person, they won that championship. But how long did it take for them to get there? How many hours of training for them to get there? When you see that person win that gold medal at the Olympics, do you know what they had to go through to get there? A lot of trials, injuries, pain, the Lord, struggles, financial problems, stress, anxiety. You understand? To get there. Most people are not willing to do, when you hear of, this female athlete that do 1,000 sit-ups a day, are you willing to do 1,000 sit-ups a day to get the results? You understand me? Most people are just not. They're not willing to do what it takes to win. You understand? That's life, right? And that's in everything. You got kids in school. Some kids are willing to spend the extra hours, you understand, to study for that exam that's coming up, where some of the kids, they just show up. And you just show up and you expect to get an A, like that person who, spend the hours to study? Unless you're a genius. You know what I mean? Right? People put hard work in. And so in building a business, it's the same thing. There are people that's willing to put the time in. I was talking to someone, I was saying, yeah, I remember this guy that I knew back in the day, and he would go door to door selling cookies. He went on to become a millionaire. Okay? But most people are not willing to go door to door. Most people don't even want to pick up the phone and call somebody and say, hey, just take a look at this thing. They're not even willing to do that. You know what I mean? A lot of people came into ONPASSIVE. They're not even willing to share. Just send a link out to a friend just to say, hey, I'm in this thing called ONPASSIVE. I don't know. Check it out. Just something as simple. They're not willing to even do that, but yet they want to reap the rewards, right? Yet when you're making your $1 million a year, right, they want to look at you like, well, why are you making that? Where's my money? How comes I've not made no money yet? I'm still waiting for a commission. Blah, 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 blah. They don't know the hard work that you put in to get to where you are. You know what I mean? That's just people in general, right? That's just people in general. But, back to migration, right? Folks, there's a lot that's going on. We're talking about information. We're talking about data, right? It doesn't happen overnight, right? And whatever else the company's dealing with, it's not our problem, meaning that we don't have to attend to it. We're not there in meetings with lawyers. We're not there in meetings with staff, right? We're not there in problem solving. We're not there in making sure that this is working the way it's supposed. We're not in any of that. We're not paying any bills. We're not doing none of that stuff, though. So I'm saying I don't see why we get upset and uptight and all that. Why? Right? Just continue your life. Do what you need to do. Make sure your bills are paid. You know what I mean? Do what you got to do. As long as you're not infringing, you know what I mean, on other people's rights and, you know what I mean, not doing anything bad. Just do good, right? And just live life, knowing that you have a solution. Think of somebody who decides to, I get a job, okay? So I finished school, got a good job right now, and I'm thinking about my future. I want to be able to buy a home, right? At some point, want to be able to take vacations. I want to be able to retire. So I start to put money aside. So I'm putting aside, I don't know, $100 a month, all right? Okay, what is that $100 doing for me right then and there? Nothing. But over time, though, right? 10 years down the road, 20 years down the road, 30 years down the road. You understand? Now when I look up, I've been putting aside this $100 a month, right? And now I look up 30 years later, it's like, wow, look what I've accumulated. You understand? But in the beginning, it's $100. Can't do anything. Right? After a year, it's $1,200. Can't do anything. You know what I mean? But I continue to put it aside though. And then down the road, poof, look what I have. Right? Somebody decides to go buy a life insurance policy. Right? And you have somebody says, you're just wasting your money. Why do you pay life insurance? That's for people dead. Like, why'd you go buy life insurance policy? But the person says, you know what? If something should happen to me prematurely, I still want to make sure my kids go to university. I still want to make sure that my spouse is taken care of. I still want to make sure they have a home and not a debt that they have to deal with. I still want to make sure my final expenses is taken care of, that they don't have to go to the state and try to beg them to bury my loved one. You know what I mean? For whatever reasons that they have, right? So that person is being responsible, right? They're thinking about, hey, I'm not going to live forever. So they say, I'm going to get some life insurance, right? And so they're paying their premium, $50 a month, $100, whatever it is. But they're paid religiously. And then one day, unfortunately, they pass away, right? And then that family, again, it's a bad situation. All of a sudden, that person was the breadwinner. That person was the income earner. That income is no longer there. What do we do? Right? Well, guess what? They had life insurance. Paid out $100,000. Paid out $500,000. Like whatever, the death benefit is. Now the family has that. And guess what? Johnny and Susie and Tom and Tyrone, they can all go to school because money is there to take care of that. Guess what, kids? We don't have to move. We can still stay in the home that we're living in because insurance was there. We can now pay off the mortgage. You understand, folks? Right? That person is thinking down the road. They're not thinking about right now. So we're in ONPASSIVE. I'm not thinking about right now. I'm not thinking what ONPASSIVE is going to do for me tomorrow or 3 months from now. I'm thinking that, you know what? This is my legacy. I'm thinking that this is going to provide all that I need, right? Going forward. Why? Because we have a solution to a problem, a serious problem that hundreds of millions of people are faced with. Folks, this is not a problem that 10 people are faced with or 1.4 million people are faced with. We're talking about hundreds of millions of people. Maybe even a billion people are faced with this. You understand? And we have a solution for that, right? So let the migration take as long as it needs to take. Why do I want to rush it? You think because, oh, we got OES back tomorrow, does it mean that, oh, okay, money's running in my pocket now? Does it mean that? No. So what am I rushing the process for? Right? All because I want to get into my OES? I miss my OES. I love my OES. I need to be in my OES. Really? Right? That's not it, is it? Right? Again, people just like to complain about stuff. Right? As a creature, we're a bunch of complainers, whiners. That's who we are. Okay? We love to do that stuff. Anyone willing to listen, we want to whine and complain. Yeah, you understand? I do my best not to whine and complain. Why? Because you can't help me. I'm going to complain in your ears. At the end of the day, what are you going to do for me? Nothing. So what am I complaining to you for? You understand? It makes no sense. Right? It just, what it does, person you're complaining to, when they see you calling them, they're trying to answer your call. Because they know you just called just to complain. They don't want to hear it. Most people don't want to hear complainers and whiners, and they just don't. Right? Now, am I trying to say that people, shouldn't think? Of course they should. It's not a cult. You know what I mean? Of course you can think. You can have your opinions. Absolutely, you can have your opinions. You can think whatever you want to think. But guess what? Your opinion, your thoughts, right, is not going to impact what happens in ONPASSIVE. It isn't. Whether I'm thinking good or whether I'm thinking bad, it's not going to impact it. Okay, I'm, in case you weren't aware of that. Okay, breaking news. Okay, like it's not going to. And you can't control the outcome. So if you can't control the outcome, then why am I going to be concerned about how long the migration is taking place? My concern is not going to make it be done tomorrow. You know what I mean? It just isn't, folks. We have to learn to focus on what we can control in our lives. We have to learn to do that. I'm telling you, you're going to have a far more effective lifestyle if you learn to do that. Focus on things that you can control. Don't focus on stuff that you can't control. You know what I mean? Like, just don't focus on them. Right? The migration is taking this time simply because it needs time, right, for the company to do what it's doing. Like, I mean, that it's just simple as that. It's not a trick answer or a trick question or, you know what I mean, something that's complex. If it needs to take 10 months, it'll take 10 months. I'm not saying it's going to take 10 months, folks, okay? Don't get all, right? My point is, however long it's going to take, let it do its course. Because as our CEO said, when it's all said and done, we're going to love what we see. You know what I mean? So if I'm going to love the outcome, what's my concern? If I'm going to love the outcome. Now, if he said, well, guys, I'm not really sure this thing's going to turn out. You know what I mean? Okay, I'm going to be kind of concerned, right? He says you're going to love it. You're going to be happy. You're going to be pleased, right? Isn't that a good thing? Don't you want to be pleased? Don't you want to be happy? Right? So let it do its thing. Hey, take your time. No problem. Right? No, I'm not saying take 10 more years. I'm not saying anything. Don't get me wrong, though, folks. I'm being real. I'm not trying to say that. Right? Of course, we want it to be done as fast as possible. Absolutely. Right? Like yesterday even. Right? But at the same time, we want to be real and give the company the time that the company needs to make it happen for us. Because, again, it's not taking your time and it's not taking your money. So why should you be concerned? If it was taking your time and if it was taking your money, Absolutely, you should be concerned. Absolutely, you should have something to say. If I was paying money month after month after month after, you better believe I'll be concerned and I will definitely have something to say. I'm not doing that though. You're not doing that. What's your problem? Right? Simple, folks. We have a simple business, right? We have a very, very simple business that is going to do exactly what we want it to do. It's going to put us in the position that we wanted to put us in, right? That's what this company is about. This company is not about hurting you or me, right? Physically, financially, spiritually, emotionally, right? That's not what this company is about. Okay? Let's understand that. And let's go with that understanding, and we're all going to be fine.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I know that Engineer Michael, I know you have something to say, but I would like Queen Julie to ask a question on the chat. Please.
Thank you, Dr. Benny. Question is from Joseph and Nigaba, and it goes like this. Mr. Michael Williams, please could you enlighten us? Are we going to have a domain name for each product? Thank you.
Okay, so we don't know. The short answer is we don't know. My opinion, I doubt that's the case. Okay? Is it necessary? No. Okay? But if the company feels it's necessary, if the company feels the best way to move forward, then absolutely, we welcome that. But my personal opinion, right, is that that's not the case. Okay? Because I can have a single domain name and I can have as many products and services on there as I want. Okay? So I don't necessarily need to have a whole bunch of different things. Right? Again, just like ONPASSIVE.com. Okay, and we see that there's multiple products under one domain name. You understand? So the same thing that you can have, I don't know, TomLovesAI.com, okay, and you can have a whole bunch of products on that site, right? When you go to Walmart.ca or .com, okay, Walmart has a whole bunch of products under one domain name, right? So you don't necessarily have to have individual domain name for each product. It's not necessary. But again, we wait and see what the company comes and tells us if the sales going to work, and then we just follow suit. Okay.
Thank you so much. I believe you have answered the question. Engineer Michael?
Dr. Benny, sir, I just want to piggyback on what on that question. And Brother Michael, some of us were inspiring to become billionaires overnight. Okay, so some of us got multiple accounts. Based on Brother Joseph's question, I want to piggyback on your answer. So I know that each account is a separate business. So are we going to require to have, I know you don't know, the best we can answer is good because a lot of people have been asking, I want them to hear. Are we going to have a separate domain name for each business, or can have one domain name and put all the business inside?
My personal opinion is that we would have a domain name for each and every one. Okay?
Thank you. That's what I thought. Thank you.
And it's easier than you think, folks. So don't get, oh my gosh, I got 2 accounts and oh my gosh, I have to come up with 2 different domain names. Oh my gosh, what am I going to use? Okay, don't worry. All right, it's much easier than you think. Okay, and again, because ONPASSIVE is a game changer, right? We can't think in terms of what we're used to or what we know from the past. Okay, meaning, if I'm starting a business today, I have to be very careful as to what my domain name is going to be. Right? I can't have johnlovesfastcars.com, and then on my website has nothing to do with cars. Right? That just wouldn't make any sense. You understand? And if I'm getting any organic traffic because of the domain name, a lot of the wrong people's coming to my website. You follow me? So I would have to be mindful as to what my domain name is going to be, that's going to reflect what I'm actually offering and how I'm going to build out my site. Okay. Now, with ONPASSIVE, again, it's different because the traffic is going to come regardless of what my domain name is. You understand? Right? Doesn't matter what my domain name is. My domain could be like really, really bad. You know, like the example I just gave, right? You know, John loves fast cars, and it has nothing to do with cars or nothing to do with John for that matter. Okay. But because I'm purchasing the traffic is going to go where I say the traffic should go. You understand? So the traffic's going to get there. So the domain name is irrelevant at that point. Okay? It is, right? Because it's going to get there. Okay? Now, it doesn't mean that I should just go, pick some nonsense domain name either. No. Okay? I'm just trying to make the point that if this was, something that you're starting on your own, right? Yeah, you want to make sure the domain is relevant. It's like sending an email. You want to make sure the subject line is relevant to what's the content of the email. Same idea. I want the domain name to be relevant to what the content is going to be on my site, etc. Right? But it doesn't have to be if I'm buying traffic and the traffic's going there anyways. Whether they like it or not, they're going there because I purchased the traffic, and so the mechanism is in place to get the traffic to where I want it to go. Okay, so that part is over. Now, when the traffic gets there, now my site has to now be able to do the selling. My site has to now be able to provide the information that the person needs to decide whether they want to buy or not. Okay, so that's different. So again, ONPASSIVE is a game changer. So we don't have to be, splitting hairs and getting all crazy as to, oh my gosh, what's my domain name going to be and what I'm going to choose. And don't worry about all that stuff, folks. Right? It's a lot easier than you think. Okay, so I just want to make that, very, very clear to all of us that we don't have to, because I know some folks are already thinking about that. Oh my gosh, I'm going to come up with 10 domain names. I can't even count to 10. How do I, you know what I mean? Don't worry about all that. We're good. Okay.
Thank you, Brother Michael, because some of us have zero creativity. Zero. I'll put one patience, two patience, but I have zero creativity. So thank you for reassuring us that we have a product called traffic that will help traffic to go to our domain. Thanks.
All right. Thank you so much, Queen Dr. Pat. We appreciate your question, and I just want to thank Mr. Michael Williams Ames for his answer. Engineer Michael, do you have any question before I ask my second question?
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Dr. Benny. Big brother, no laundry today. Thank you for staying with us.
Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it.
only 3 loads today, and one's drying right now, and one's washing right now. So
thank you very much.
I'm ahead of the game.
Thanks for staying with us, big bro. Thanks all the team. You guys are doing marvelous. And excuse me, thank you everybody who came to listen to our big brother. He's impacted with a lot of knowledge, so we should marketing knowledge. We should always follow him to tap into that knowledge. It's not a day-to-day thing that we'll have him come and speak to us every day, right? So thank you, big bro. And for the questions that have been asked, Julie, Pierre, Dr. Benny, Mama Kanla, and Sister Lorato, thank you very much for the mindset as well. Dr. Derek, thank you for the updates. Was good and loaded. Big bro, there is a concept that everybody understands and really know how our business is operating. Most of us have been hanging out here for a long time, for a while now. I just wanted you to throw us a light on something that we are about to get there. And now, what is it? If you have your virtual marketplace, or you have your virtual website, or your virtual virtual shop, then you don't subscribe to your products, which we will see them in our marketplace. So can you tell us the significant, like, if it is there and you don't buy it, or because we have our business is a subscription-based business, everybody should know that by now. If we don't subscribe to the product, what will happen to us? Please, can you give us a little light on that? Thank you.
Right. So again, we still have to wait and see exactly how things are going to run, right? That's always the best course of action, is to do that, right? But because we know that things have changed and are changing, right? So we want to be 100% accurate as to what we know, right? And deal with facts. Now, we know that before, if we did not subscribe to a particular product, and we made sales for that product, we still will receive the income, right? The commissions for that. So that will still happen. We just can't withdraw that commission until we've actually subscribed to the product. Okay, that's what the process was to be. Now, it may still be that, right? That still may be the case. Okay, I'm just saying it's always best for us to wait to see exactly, right? So that we have the latest information, and so we know what is factual going forward, and so that will be forthcoming, right? But I would believe, right? I would believe that remains the same, in that you're going to still generate commission. So in other words, you're not going to miss out on anything, right? So if I didn't subscribe to this particular product, I'm not going to miss out on any sales that's generated. So if I generate sales, it just sits in a holding tank, right? It just sits in my wallet, and I just cannot withdraw the commission until and we saw a bit of that, when we purchased Old Connect and so on, right? So we saw that happening. People saw whereby they still received the commission into their wallet, but they could not withdraw it because they didn't subscribe at the time, right? So they didn't lose anything. And so I think that will be the same going forward. But just understand that the company is always looking out for our best interest. The company is putting this together so that we benefit, so that we can maximize what is there. And so that makes perfect sense. There's companies in the past that you generate a sale, and you may lose that sale, or the sale just does not get to you unless you have purchased the product in advance, and so on and so forth. And ONPASSIVE, again, as we know, is doing things different. ONPASSIVE is doing things that make sense. ONPASSIVE is doing things that's beneficial to us. And so the most beneficial would be that scenario whereby if someone, for whatever reason, did not purchase that particular product, did not subscribe to it, then a sale comes in. They don't lose the sale. It's still there, because then that acts as an incentive for that person now to go make that subscription, right? When you think about it, right? All of a sudden, you know that, oh, I got $400 in there, but I can't withdraw it. That's a pretty big incentive for someone to say, you know what, I probably should go subscribe to that product, right? To make sure that I can have access to the commissions that I've generated. But again, we should still wait and see for the final chapter where that is concerned. Okay.
Thank you, Big Bro. Thanks very much for your response. We appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I really appreciate you. I really want to find out from our brand ambassadors or affiliates. You guys notice that Mr. Michael Ames has been here for quite some time. And I've been asking you guys if you guys have questions or any excitement. You guys don't have any, right? So I pray that you guys don't complain anymore, because if you complain, I will deal with you this time. Anyway, yeah, I have one question. Oh, Queen Aisha, do you have something?
No. Thank you. I just want to appreciate Brother Mike for his time, Michael William for his time with us. Thank you for everything as always. Thank you, Engineer Mike and other presenters and the team, update team. I just want to appreciate all of them. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Queen Aisha. I have one last question. If I don't hear from anyone else,
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Queen B, please.
Yeah.
We don't have anything in the chat as of now, so please proceed.
I believe maybe this one is an easy question. The question goes thus. Can you break down for us this statement? The world will know your name. We are the hunted. We are the magnet. The magnificent, mandatory new world. The world will know your name. What does that mean, Mr. Michael Williams Adams?
Well, again, if you are if you are an experienced, an excellent marketer, right? Then the world can easily know your name. You know what I mean? Like if you again, one of those that's online and you're putting out, hundreds of thousands, if not millions, ads. You understand? So like you're all over the place. You know what I mean? So yeah, everybody knows you, right? You're in the limelight. People see you, right? Whether it's your name, whether it's your image, right? Whatever the case may be. So in our case, every single one of us are going to be a professional marketer. Like all of us will be, not because we have the knowledge, right? Not because we have the know-how, but just based upon the model that our company is running with. You will have the ability to get as much traffic as you want. We talked about, unlimited resource, etc. So if I choose to have, juliepierre.com as an example, right? And I've got millions of visitors going to juliepierre.com, right? The world will know Julie Pierre, right? Think of Walmart. Like, how many visitors does Walmart get? How many visitors does Amazon get, right? Everybody knows Amazon. They know the name Amazon. They know the name Walmart, right? Everybody knows Apple. You understand? People know the name. It's because of the traffic, right? How much traffic they get, right? The size of their network, all of that. So when you start to command, at will, because it's a service on demand, right? You pick and choose. I want 1,000. I want 100,000. I want 1,000,000. I want 10 million. Whatever case may be, and you have all that traffic coming at your domain name. They're gonna know you. So know your name doesn't necessarily mean it's Julie Pierre, because that's not your domain name, right? But they will know your domain name. They will know if you have patience is now wealthy.com. They're gonna know that belongs to Dr. P. You understand? So they're gonna know you because of the amount of traffic, the amount of attention that you're getting, right? But no, it doesn't necessarily mean that people are gonna show up at your doorstep because they know that you're wealthy. That doesn't mean any of that. but it just simply means that you have a lot of exposure, right? And so when you have so much exposure, people are gonna know who you are. That person who's famous on TikTok, that person who's famous on YouTube, and so on, right? People know them. You know what I mean? Just ask your kids them. If you have young kids, they'll tell you, who's the latest TikTok sensation. You know what I mean? They'll know that, right? Again, because the exposure that person has, they can tell you, oh, that person has so many followers. They had a video, and the video got 1 billion views or whatever. You know what I mean? So that person now becomes famous as a result of that, right? And so it's the same thing with us here in OnPassive, because of the nature, the model of the business, whereby we can buy traffic on demand. We're gonna have a lot of exposure, and so therefore people will know who you are from that standpoint. Now, you can still choose to be hidden. You know what I mean? You don't have to come out front, right? But your site, you know what I mean? Your domain, your website will become famous, because that's the difference having a unique domain name versus having a replicated page. If all of us had onpassive.com / your number 1234566, and then your number 1234567, you know what I mean, 1234568, you understand? Then who knows that? Nobody remembers that. All they remember is onpassive.com. You understand? But if you have, Susie, McCrae.com and JulieWynn.com, and you know what I mean? Or cooলাই.com, or whatever the site is, they're all unique, okay? And because they get so much exposure, people are gonna know these domain names, right? They're gonna know you. So yeah, that's what it is. When our CEO is talking about the world is gonna know your name, that's gonna be a good thing, because if you have a lot of exposure, you're able to monetize that exposure, right? And that's the name of the game. You want to be able to monetize the traffic, right? And so once we're able to monetize the traffic, that's how you're going to generate wealth. That's how you're going to be able to do what it is you want to do in life, and so on. Being able to monetize that. That's the era that we're in right now. Monetize data. Okay, data is king, data is queen, right? That's what we want, and that's what we have in OnPassive. Again, just to let the company do their thing, and all of us will be grateful for the results.
Thank you so much. I have learned something today. I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
At this moment, I'm going to hand it over to
MrsOnPassive.com.
My age
Thank you. I was thinking of one name, smilewithdrbenny.com. How about that?
Well, how about you keep it to yourself for now?
It's funny graphics.
Thank you. I would hand it over to Queen Irene. Could you please proceed, Queen Irene?
Wow. It has been a rich information afternoon. Every time Brother Michael comes, we glean a lot. Thank you very much, Brother Michael, for honoring us every month. We really appreciate you. I mean, we don't have any words that can really show how much we appreciate you. So we thank you very much. Thank you, everyone that has been here all afternoon with us, enjoying all the information, everything that our brother has been dishing out to us. Don't mind Dr. Benny, who is threatening that if you don't ask a question, don't complain. There'll always be complaints regardless. And some of us will be quiet and then we'll complain behind. Even when we had the opportunity to ask or show our appreciation and we didn't, then there will be a moment we'll just complain behind under the desk. So Dr. Benny, don't worry, we're here. So thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm going to jump in. And this is the fact that Michael is like this. I don't know what this woman wants from me. But Michael, you've been with us. We really appreciate you for about 4 hours, and you've really spoken to us for 3.5 hours. you know what I'm going to ask of you, right? You know what I'm going to ask of you. I just want you to give me the elevation speech that I'm going to use it for the next month before we see you. Something that will, just that, how do I say, take home message. What can I take home from all what is happening, from all what you've shared with us today?
I think you're greedy.
I am. In 2 sentences.
Oh dear.
I'm greedy. Just get it home for us. Please, I know you've taken your time. We really appreciate it. Please, we don't want to make the American not to come here again, but I'm telling you, every time that we've done that, you hit that home, everybody keep asking me. No, normally in O Connect. Today I just saw the spirit going, so let YouTube going. They'll be like, where's the second part? Where's the second part? So give it to them now, and they have it. Nobody come and ask me. Thank you, Brother Michael. Just give us that message to take home and be jolly.
Well, I mean, every time I come, I never have anything at the end planned or to give, or because I feel how this webinar is conducted, that everything is kind of come out throughout, from the beginning to the end. But I mean, again, all I can say is that, people just have to realize that this is the best thing that they can have, like, from a business standpoint, from something that's going
Webinar
to
still going.
help you with your financial situation, right? And yes, we understand that it cannot help you right this minute. Okay, if you got the mortgage to be paid, end of the month, yeah, it's not going to help you. If you got that car note that needs to be taken care of, in the next couple of weeks, it's not going to help you. We understand that, and we really shouldn't be looking for that, right? Because that's just short term. It's like you have short term pain. You know what I mean? Temporary pain, right? But when we look at a mother, I have 3 children, so I was there for all 3 deliveries, and so when you see the pain that the mother is in, okay, but we know it's temporary though. But even though it's temporary, it doesn't make the pain any less, right? Even though the mother knows that, okay, it's going to pass, they're still focused on that immediate pain, right? And I think it's the same thing with us, in that the financial pains that we're going through, we're focused on, but right now, this is my current situation. And sometimes I think we have to kind of look ahead, look forward, to kind of switch things up, and just realize that, yeah, the pain is temporary, and it will eventually pass, it will eventually go away. Sometimes, I'm sure 3 years ago, I'm sure some people think, man, I just can't survive this month. And here you are 3 years later. You know what I mean? I'm sure some of you said it, right? You found a way. You know what I mean? And so I think, we just have to find a way to keep keeping on, knowing that, the future is bright. There's no doubt about that, folks. There really isn't. If I didn't believe that, I wouldn't come here and tell you. I would just say, Dr. P, I'm not coming to these webinars no more because I got nothing. You know what I mean? No, I'm 100% confident in what we have, in this business. Because as I look around, sure, I can say, hey, do this or do that or do that. But at the end of the day, if you can't market, it's not going to work for you. You know what I mean? If you don't have patience, if you can't be consistent, it's just not going to work for you. ONPASSIVE really is the real deal. This is what if I wasn't doing ONPASSIVE, right, the only business that I'll be promoting would be a business whereby, it's 100% done for you. but that would mean that I have work to do. That would mean that I have to administer the business, right? Those days are done. We have a company that says that we got you, right? We know what it takes. We heard our CEO said that he loves marketing. You know what I mean? It's not he loves it, right? That's something that he enjoys. And we've always said that that's the best thing that you can do in life. If you find something that you love, right? And that's what you're working towards. That's what you're doing. You're gonna enjoy it, and you're gonna be fulfilled by doing just that. And so this is his cup of tea. This solution. This is someone who's done, 80 mil. Can you even think of what 80 million emails going out, like what that could do for any business? Just think of any business, right? Maybe something that you're doing right now. Can you imagine if you were able to get out 80 million a day? Okay, multiply that by 365. Okay, see what that number comes out to, right? Now I know some people, but there isn't that many people and this and that and all this other fancy stuff, and you know, when you send out 80 million a day, it doesn't necessarily mean, right? And I don't want to speak for him, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's 80 million new, unique people every single day. I'm sure there's some repetition in there somewhere. You know what I mean? Because that's what we would do. We would send an email to you, but you may get an email the next day, or you may get an email 2 days later, or 3 days later, or a week later, or whatever. Repetition, right? We keep sending stuff to you over and over and over again, and eventually you're gonna say, "Hey, cross me off your list," or you're gonna join whatever it is that we're promoting. You know what I mean? Right? But the point is, just think of 80 million. That's a big number, folks. It's a big number, right? 10% of 80 million is 8 million, right? Okay,
Love
forget
you.
10%. 1% is 800,000. You know what I mean? So can you imagine
Yes.
even 1/10 of a percent, right? That's still 80,000, right? 1/100th of a percent, that's still 8,000. So when you're doing that kind of number, you can't help but be successful, right? No matter how good or bad the marketing is. Because even if it's bad and you're getting 1/100th of a percent, right? It's tiny, folks. It's tiny, right? Again, numbers, right? And so that's what we have in ONPASSIVE, the ability to be able to drive massive traffic, right? If there's 5 billion people that's on the internet, right? I mean, again, how many of that 5 billion do we actually need in order for all of us, 1.4 million account holders, all of us to be successful? Think about that, right? Again, you can crunch your own numbers and play with numbers and do whatever you want to do, right? But the point is, you don't need 5 billion. We don't need 5 billion customers. We don't need 3 billion customers. We don't even need 1 billion customers. I'm talking for all of us, right? To be in a place whereby, we can accomplish whatever our financial desires are, right? We can, sort of the good desires of our heart, no problem, right? Think about that, right? So the numbers are there. It supports what can be done. So when I look at that in my mind, I'm thinking it's a done deal, right? It's a done deal. Let the process do what the process has to go through, right? And I know I'm going to get to my goal, right? We've always wanted to see people succeed in everything they do. Everything. Always want to see people succeed. Why? There's a joy that comes to you when you help someone accomplish something. There's a joy, right? I talked about before when I used to sit down and tutor kids, right? And so I sit there and I'm going through them, and there's a breakthrough. They get it. You know what I mean? Now they can do the question on their own, right? And get the correct answer. There's a joy that you feel because you've helped someone accomplish something, right? There's a joy when you sit down with someone, you help them through their finances and so on and so forth, and you show them how to get from A to B, you know what I mean, and be able to put it into place, right? And they're able to accomplish things in life, and you see the results, and you hear about the result, and people come back to you and thank you and all this fancy stuff. Right? There's a joy that comes with that. So it's no different in business. When you invite somebody into something, think of how you feel when you know that person has succeeded versus how you feel when, oh man, the person failed or the person lost money or, you know what I mean, oh, it didn't work out for them. Like, think of how you feel, right? So when we're in ONPASSIVE, we know that every single person that we invited into ONPASSIVE is going to win. So think of the joy that you're going to feel when you actually see it, right? When it actually comes to pass. Because that's the proof in the pudding, right? When we actually get there, you know what I mean? And so every single person, as I said at the very beginning, all of us should be excited every day about ONPASSIVE because there's no other company out there that's willing to do what this company is willing to do for us. None. They haven't stepped up. They have not said, you know what, I think we can do better than what ONPASSIVE is doing. So let's, where are they? Haven't come. Where are they? You know what I mean? It's still the same old, same old. Nope. You're in it by yourself. You have to do it on your own. You have to go make it happen, right? Okay, but I'm busy though. Not that I don't want it, but I'm busy. I got 3 kids I have to attend to. I've got to drive here, drive there, have to do this, do that. You know what I mean? Can you just help me? Nope. You're on your own. Do it yourself, right? ONPASSIVE says we got you. We are partners together. That's what this company is saying to you. This company is telling you exactly what they're going to do. This is, hey, we're going to make sure that you have all the traffic that you can manage, right? And we've explained, right, how important that is. So I think by now you should know if you join a business, you have to have marketing. If you go open up a restaurant, you have to have marketing. If you open up any type of business, you have to have marketing, right? You should know this by now. So that means we have what every single business on this planet requires. So how can you not win? Like, think about that. How can you not win when you have the solution to can you imagine that you had the cure for cancer? Just think about that for a second. Can you imagine you actually have the cure for cancer? Meaning, not, I know there's natural products out there and this and all this other fancy stuff, but I'm talking about you actually have something that every single person that takes this who has cancer, boom, they're cured. Can you imagine if you had that? Right? I'm not saying, well, out of every 10 people, maybe 5 of them got good results. No. I'm saying every single person, boom, take this, you're cured. There is no product on the planet that can provide that. None. No product on the planet that can provide that. None whatsoever. Okay? And yes, I know there's herbs and this and all this fancy stuff. There's no product on this planet that can provide that. There isn't. Right? Think of what we have. We have something where every single business on this planet requires. We have the solution for that. You understand, folks? That's what we have. So how can you not win? I don't care who you are. You need what I have, right? I don't care if you're rich. I don't care if you're poor. I don't care if you're educated, you're not educated. I don't care if you have a business, don't have a business. I don't care if you live in North America, if you live in South. I don't care about any of that stuff. Every single person on this planet needs what I have. Well, what about the kids then? Okay, don't they have families? You know what I mean? Don't they have to eat food? Is the money not needed to take care of them? Somebody's taking care of them. No, somebody, right? That somebody, whoever that is, right, requires money. You know what I mean? So I have something that every single person on this planet requires. How can I not win? right? That's how we have to look at this business, folks. You know what I mean? And every single person that's involved in ONPASSIVE needs to hear this, right? You have something that every single person on this planet requires, one way, shape, or form, directly or indirectly. They need it. Who are the people that's donating to charities out there? They need what we have. You don't think they'd love to be able to donate more? So maybe they don't need any money. You don't think they would want more to donate? You ever notice that rich people always go and ask other people for money in order to donate? You ever notice that? Right? You don't see them taking their own money and always donating. I'm not saying that they don't donate, but they're always having these fundraisers, and you understand me? All these different things to raise money. They already have money, but they're always raising money. You walk into Walmart, Walmart is asking if you want to donate $1 today. How much billions are you worth? You know what I mean? Are you asking me for $1? Right? Think about that. So every single person on this planet can use what we have. Only because of the model. Only because of the model. And this is why we say that people, when they come, you just need to get them in for free. Because there will be something there where there's traffic for their business, okay, not your ONPASSIVE business, for their business, whether it's traffic for that, or whether it's, old tracker, as I said, so that it can analyze their business, right? Whether they need an HRM, right? Human resource management system, you understand me? Whatever the case may be, there is something in ONPASSIVE that all these people want. How do we know this? Are people not buying domain names right now? So of course they're going to come to us and buy domain from us, because people are doing that right now. Right? Are people not using Zoom right now? So why do you think nobody's going to buy OConnect? Really? There's a demand for it. If I can give you something that you already have, but I'm going to give it to you more cost effective, I'm going to give you more value than what you're paying right now, I'm going to help you save money. Like, are you kidding me? Of course, they're gonna at least look anyways, right? And if you get enough looking, they will buy. You want to get as many window shoppers as possible in your business, right? Because eventually, you walked outside and you're looking in the store window, and then somehow you decide to go inside and you end up buying. You had no intention of buying, no. You just, I'm just going window shopping, right? And I'm not just talking about ladies, I'm talking about men as well. I'm talking about everybody, right? You end up buying. In ONPASSIVE, bring all the window shoppers. Bring them, come. Get them, which means get them in for free. They come in for free, right? They're going to look around. They're going to buy something. They go, what? I can get traffic? Oh, I already have a business. No problem. That's great. I have something for your business. You understand? We have something for every single person on this planet. How can you not succeed in ONPASSIVE? It's impossible, folks. It's impossible. Again, the game changer. The game changer. All right? Thank you so much for having me, folks. It's been great. Until next time.